Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Hello. Happy Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? I don't even know what freaking day it is. I don't have my headphones on. What's up? We are doing a call-in show tonight. Taking your calls. Thank you for being here. Hey, Cindy Lou. Thank you. She sent some jewels. Thank you. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Christian. Christian says, hello, everyone. My first time here. Well, welcome in. What's up, Cindy Lou, Linda Kramer, Callie Cal, Maureen Nott O'Connell, Penny. Hi, Cheryl. Sherry Caldwell and Sarah Slater, welcome in. Mississippi. Thanks, you guys, for joining tonight. Hopefully we'll get some good call-ins. Hey, Kay Binkley. Hi, Danish. Hi, Maureen. Hi, Proud Mimi. Hello, Stanzy Trinkets. Stanzy, thank you for your support in the show earlier. Hello, Proud Mimi. Mimi saying, hi, Sister Sully. Deborah, the Kels. BJ Root, first for me also. Welcome in. Hello, Ballet Flats. Thanks for being here. Chloe Graham and Alice Simpson. Oh, my God, Alice, your picture is kind of scary. Way. Did you guys, hey, Ruby for Justice. Did you guys catch the show with Howard earlier, and did you like it? Deborah Fountain, Queen of the Cooters. Hey, Mama. I have a feeling Janice Pushmos. Thank you, Kels. You guys, it was short, but it was short, sweet, and to the point, right? Kansas, what's up? He didn't have a lot of time, so I didn't have to ask a lot of questions. He literally, I had a list of questions. He literally answered everything. I was scrolling through, and he hit every point. And I was like, okay, so I don't really have to ask much, because there really wasn't a whole lot really new. Hey, Flobo, good to see you. Catch replay on Bloom. What's Bloom? Oh, never mind. Kathleen, my neighbor who's moving was rude to me, so I had a hard time paying attention. Tell her to relax. Hey, Shibby. What's up? Panay. So we're going to open up the phone lines tonight and take your calls. Actually, I will take it off Do Not Disturb right now. If you guys want to call in, it is open, 727-755-6001. We are talking about Nancy Guthrie. Hello, Molly. We're talking about Nancy Guthrie, the ransom notes, whatever you guys want to talk about, to be honest. There's been a lot. Today, there was talk of her Apple Watch being found on the floor. We have the note, one of the notes being addressed, Dear Savannah. I don't know what to make of all this, so I need you guys to talk me through this. Hey, Tears Forever. Okay, Kels. Here is the hotline. Who's going to break the cherry? There we go. Hello, you are live on air with Jay. Who am I talking to?
This is Christian. I'm the one that said this is my first time to your show.
Oh, hey, what's up? Thanks for calling in.
No problem. Well, talking about those ransom notes, it's funny because I watched something that TMZ put out today where they were talking about that well, it might have been yesterday, but that they received another letter, and, it was crazy because Harvey said, hey, we'll pay the 1 Bitcoin to see if this guy is real to get the information. And he said when the FBI called him back, they told him to stand down, that they were close to arresting somebody.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, so I mean, I don't know how much of that I believe, because why would the FBI say something to TMZ and not actually come out in the media and say, hey guys, we're close to getting somebody, you know, whatever.
Right. Why would they tell Harvey of all people?
Exactly, exactly. And
Knowing
then,
he's
you
going
know,
to
like,
run his mouth, right? I mean, he already wants to make a documentary on the Bitcoin thing.
right, right. And then, you know, and then you mentioned something about, you know, the new details on the first two ransom letters about the Apple Watch being on the floor, you know, and all that.
Mhm.
And I've always had this theory that I thought that this whole thing was pre-planned ahead of time, that there was like this boss, and that there was these goons that were trying to get into like this organization or gang or whatever you want to call it. And for them to be able to get in like initiation, he told them, hey, go over here, do this, do this, do this. And I think the whole thing about the Apple Watch was that I think he told them to put it in a certain spot just to, for the ransom note to let them know that, hey, you know, we know that this is the details, this is real stuff and all that, because there's even reports that the first two letters actually came from the kidnappers.
Right. Right.
You know, so, you know, and everything else. So, I mean, yeah, I think we're fixing to see a breakthrough. I really do. You know,
Well, you know
I think
what,
it's going to come
Christian?
down to it.
That Maureen O'Connell also said that she, I think to Brian Enton, that she said they're like 75% there to an
Yeah,
arrest.
yeah.
So it's coming
And
from two people.
right. And, you know, Maureen O'Connell, she's at the FBI. She's got inside sources, you know, and all that. She still talks to people on the inside. So,
Yeah.
you know, I believe everything that Maureen O'Connell talks, because, you know, she's at the FBI. She's got sources on the inside. Brian Enton's got sources on the inside, you know, and all that. Chris Madonna, all these people like that. You know, so I believe what they're saying. And I believe that we are close to an arrest or several arrests. And maybe if they arrest one, it'll lead them to the next one. Because I believe that there was more than one person
Me
that was
too.
involved,
Me too.
you know. But my theory is always, because people are like, oh, well, you know, why haven't we heard anything? Well, the thing is they're trying to build a case against these guys. And I've been saying this all along, and I've heard other people discuss it too. They're trying to build a case so when it goes to court, I have enough evidence to basically slam the defense in their face to where these guys can't get off of whatever charges that they're going to be charged with. They're just trying to build enough evidence, like the DNA evidence and all this other stuff, you know.
So you
And
think it's random though? You think it's like a random thing
I
that
honestly don't. I've been saying it all along, and I hate saying it, and I hate putting people's name out there. I think it's tied to the family. Not saying that a natural family member did it, but I think it's tied to Annie and Tommaso. I think it's more tied to Tommaso than it is Annie, because you remember they're saying that they believe that this second ransom note, or the first one, the one buried with nature, they're saying now was written by a female.
Mm.
Well, we know that Annie is a poet, that Annie writes poetry,
Right.
you know, and all that. So who's not to say that she wrote this,
Right.
you know, because there was that letter that was left out there at the memorial where she was talking about something about standing on scorched earth,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and all this different kind of stuff. So that's why I believe that the family's tied into it, because like this Derek Kalila guy that they arrested for the fake ransom and all that, how is it that he was able to test Annie and Tommaso like, hey, where's my Bitcoin? And then he personally calls a family member, but yet he's fixing to go to court. He pled guilty to the charge. So I think he's fixing it on July 2nd when he has his court date. I think he's fixing to spill the beans just to try to get a deal.
Interesting. I still have them on my radar as well.
I do too. I do too.
I just
And
can't get past it. Yeah,
I don't think Savannah knows anything about it. And I think when she finds out that, yeah, it might be tied to Tommaso, or even both Annie and Tommaso, you know, she's going to be, you know, even more heartbroken than she was before.
Okay, so with
You
that
know,
being said, I just want to ask you if you have them on your radar as well. Like, what do you think was their motive? Do you think it was money or an
I think
accident?
it was money, life insurance,
Mm,
the house, because I mean the thing is you know who was the house left to in the will? Nobody knows. Nobody knows what the will says. Nobody knows that if this money was split between the kids. I mean, we don't know, and I think it might have something to do with life insurance because if you remember, Annie and Tomas only live what not even a mile away from where she's at. That they were basically the main caregiver for her because Savannah's busy up in New York doing her show. Cameron's off doing his thing. And all that. So I think it has something to do with money. To
yeah, I
hurry
do
up, we
too.
get it out of the picture and all that. Because matter of fact, I do a lot of. I've got my own channel now too. I just started like 2 weeks ago, and I got inspired by all you people that do true crime. It inspired me. I love true
Really?
crime. I've been reading true crime for years and years and years, and I figured, you know what? I might just join these true crime people and create my own show.
Yeah.
But I do true crime, but also fits in to do like cemetery type stories, where you go to the cemetery, pay respects, blah, 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 stuff like that. And I get on a site called Find a Grave. And I got on there to look up Nancy's husband, Charles Guthrie, and all that. And of course, he died back in like I want to say it was like 1970 something, 1980 something, at the age of 49 from a heart attack. Well, if you go in there and look, you go down and you see a picture of Nancy. Okay. And then you go to click on her. It just says burial details unknown. And then you go to the obituary, and at the top it says, as of June 23rd, 2026, the family has made it official that she is deceased. Well, y'all have known that she's been deceased since the second or third day, or since that, second ransom note come out.
Yeah.
Why are y'all waiting this long to make it official?
I don't know. And who can do that on that site? Does it have to be family or can it be like whoever
Some people, some
contributes?
people told me that, anybody can get on there and change it like Wikipedia, but I don't believe that that's true. I believe it's only family. And that would make sense on the life insurance because, okay, in order to collect on the life insurance, you have to have a copy of the death certificate. Well, in order to get a copy of a death certificate, you have to go to a judge and get a judge to sign it.
Right.
So, and it's weird that they said June 23rd is when they officially declared her deceased. So it's either A, y'all gotten word that, hey, she's been alive this whole time until June 23rd, or hey, she's been dead this whole time, but now y'all are trying to collect insurance money.
I think that's when
One
the
of the two.
news came out that the actual ransom said like she's dead.
Buried with nature.
Yeah, even though we all kind of assumed because remember Harvey had said before, they said time is no longer of the essence. Like at first,
Well,
time is of the essence. Now it's not. But we
right,
didn't
but I
know
mean,
that
we
they
all
knew
knew.
on the 6th that she was
Right,
literally dead.
but I mean, we all knew when they came out, when they first initiated that second ransom note, where they said, well, time is not of the essence now. And remember, Savannah pleaded on there like, look, give us proof of life. If she's dead, let us have her body back so we can have a memorial, and all that. So they've known all this time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I thought it was strange because they have this feeling that, hey, she's been deceased all this time, but yet on this obituary thing on the Find a Grave, you put this at the very top, and then you go in and talk about the celebration of her life, and all that. But at the very top, it says burial details unknown,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which, a lot of people, like if the family doesn't want to know, doesn't want people to know where a loved one is buried because they don't want people to go out and visit their grave or whatever, they can put that in there, burial details unknown.
Right.
And so
Or it
makes me
could be
wonder.
just that she's not found yet.
It could be that too. It could be
Because
that
I know
too.
somebody did this when I covered a Summer Wells case. She's
Right.
a missing 5-year-old. She was 5 at the time, out of Tennessee. And I remember we figured out that, I don't know if it was Find a Grave or if that's affiliated with like Ancestry, but on Ancestry, they had marked Summer Wells deceased. And the reason they were doing it was because they were trying to do a family tree. And because I contacted the lady, I'm like, we figured out who it was. And we're like, why did you do this? Like, who are you? You know? And she said, oh, I was doing a family tree. And if you mark as deceased, you get more returns on your searches or something.
Oh,
So I wonder
okay.
if that doesn't have something to do with, but I don't know if they're affiliated, but I thought that was weird. But then that's what they said.
Huh. That is weird.
Especially for a child. Like,
well, yeah. I mean, and a lot of people, if it's a child that, is deceased or whatever, a lot of times they don't want to put that on the Find a Grave, like where they're buried or whatever, because they don't want people to go out and, memorialize their headstones and stuff like that.
Right.
Because like one case I'm covering right now, which I'm going to talk about on my channel when I go live tonight, a little bit, is I'm about to cover a story of a 9-year-old that basically got beaten to death by her father with a cloth belt because she wet the bed. Well, when I went to put her name in the Find a Grave, it doesn't show anything. It just says burial details unknown. Basically, it means is they don't want people to know
where she is
buried here. Right, and stuff like that. And it happens a lot on Find a Grave.
I wonder
really
if
does.
that's because, I mean, I don't know that situation of the case you're talking about, but maybe if the parents were charged.
Well, the mother wasn't charged. The father is charged. The father's awaiting trial. He's being charged with capital murder, and I'm in Texas. So, the death penalty, we got express lane.
That happened in Texas?
Yes, in Fort Worth. And so, it's so more likely, he's facing capital punishment. More likely he's going to get the death penalty, and all that different kind of stuff. But it's a story that I'm covering, because it's like the newest story that's happened within like the last, this happened back in February of this year. So it's like one of the newest stories around here. And like I said, I like to cover true crime and stuff like that anyway. So that's the reason why I'm going to cover it locally here, besides Nancy Guthrie, which is the biggest story out there.
I mean, it's just a true mystery, It is.
And I was going to start covering about the 19-year-old girl that disappeared in Kentucky until I found out 4 days later that they found her body, and all that on Grayson Lake. So that was a good thing that they found her, and all that. But, it was sad that she perished like that. But, hey.
I mean, accidents happen. And when you have alcohol in a boat and kids, the only thing that I'm wondering about with that one, and I know we're not talking about Nancy, but I don't care. The only thing I don't understand about that one is I heard there was a teacher on board that boat with these younger people, like a 30-year-old teacher. So I wasn't sure if there was someone who was in trouble for buying alcohol or something like that. So I haven't looked into it, but.
That is kind of interesting because I know they said the driver of the boat got charged with boating while intoxicated.
There you go. Maybe
he got
that's
what they called he got charged with a BUI.
Well, what is your channel name, Christian?
It's called @Fueled by Soldiers and Jesus.
Soldiers and Jesus. Okay, @Fueled by Soldiers and Jesus. Okay.
Yes.
Are you a military veteran?
Yes, I am.
Well, thank you for your service.
Well, thank you. I did my time in the Marine Corps, so.
Thank you so much for your service. Yeah, I mean.
No problem. No problem.
And thanks for calling in.
Yeah, no problem. I like tuning into new people's, other people's channels because I frequent 857 and JLR and, Juice's channel a lot, and all that. And 857 got his charges dropped today,
I
which
saw
was a good
that.
thing.
I saw that. Yeah, hopefully this is the ball's rolling in the right direction, maybe.
Right. You know, because Nano's, you know, he's overstepping his boundaries. He really is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and all that.
Couldn't agree
and
more,
stepping
Chris.
over,
Couldn't agree
you
more.
know, and stepping over First Amendment rights. You know, you have no right to step over somebody's First Amendment rights that they're practicing. You know, they weren't doing anything wrong. They were sitting on a public easement, keeping Nancy's name alive, even though, you know, he said in a radio broadcast with Buckmaster or whatever that guy's name is out of Tucson, that, you know, that they were getting complaints from neighbors and stuff like that. And, you know, they should go somewhere else and do this because there's nothing happening. Okay, there's nothing happening, but there was one instance where Tommaso showed up at the house. They caught him on film leaving the house by himself. And then you have this Tesla guy showing up, putting a tripod and a camera up on top of the house. Oh, but wait, there's nothing going on.
Who's the Tesla guy, man? Who is that guy?
I don't know who this Tesla guy is.
I think he's a property manager or some shit. That's what it seems like to me. Because he seems to roll up.
On the roof? Right. But, I mean, why is he up on the roof putting a tripod with a camera up on the roof?
New cameras so they can see everybody around. I don't know.
Right. I mean, and then on top of that, like I said, you know, and then you had the instances where there was people that were driving by at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning after, you know, our friends got arrested and cited, not told, that there was lights on inside the house. You know, and all this
I remember that. I remember the lights on. Yeah.
Right. And people were talking about, oh, well, maybe the lights in the house are on a timer. No, they weren't on a timer, because there was a few times that like JLR and Juice and all them were there till 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning overnight, and the lights never came on.
You think someone's been staying in there?
I don't know if somebody's been staying in there or somebody's been trying to clean up a crime scene. I mean, I don't know.
Yikes. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's strange, you know, that these lights were on. And then, like, one lady I heard on somebody else's podcast, a friend of hers is a caretaker for an elderly woman that lives in Nancy's neighborhood, and she drives down Nancy's street to go to work. And like the second night she was driving, she was pulled over by Pima County and told not to drive on that street no more.
Not to drive on it?
Ticketed. Yeah.
That is ludicrous.
That she wasn't allowed to go that route. She needed to find a different route or she was going to be ticketed. Okay, so what are y'all hiding?
That's ludicrous. I can't imagine ever being told, like, sorry, you can't drive on this public road. Like, that's wild.
But that's what I'm saying. What are they hiding? You know,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Because it makes me wonder if Nanos is involved in this also.
Oh, my God. Christian, let me get my tinfoil hat on. Hold on. Don't go any further. Okay. Okay, you can continue.
I like that.
Okay, go ahead. Nanos.
But no, like, you know, I mean, how do we know that Nanos might not be tied into this? Because Nanos has been corrupt all his police career.
Big time.
Even when he was a deputy in El Paso back in the 70s, you know, and all that different kind of stuff and everything. And then lied on his resume, you know, to become sheriff in Tucson in Pima County and all that. So
shameful, sheriff.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not saying that he is tied to it, but how do we not know that he's not tied to this? Because just the way that he botched the investigation from the very beginning, not letting the FBI come in on day one, you know, and everything else.
Yeah, now we're hearing, Chris, that he didn't even ask Tucson for help.
No, he didn't. And Tucson Police has one of the best, like, crime scene investigative team there is in the state.
Yeah, why wouldn't they use all the help they can get?
Right, you know. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to get all the help I can get. And then you call off all the search teams when the Cajun Navy was ready to come in and, you know, take over and search and all that. And you say, oh, no, we're calling off the searches. We're considering this a homicide. Well, how are you considering this a homicide if there's not a body?
Jeepers. Right.
How do you know it was a homicide? You know, it's just from the very beginning, this case has been very, very, very strange. But, you know, 90% of your kidnappings that happen, whether it's children or adults, is normally somebody either A, related to the family, close to the family, or a family member. And that's why I think that the family has something to do with this. It's very, 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 very rare that it's not somebody that the family doesn't know.
Come to fucking dance, okay? I came to
So one more question for you, Christian, before I let you go. And I just realized that your channel is not Soldiers and Jesus.
No, it's Folgers.
Like the
Folgers,
coffee,
Folgers.
like
Yes.
the best
yes,
part of waking up, that Folgers.
Yes.
Ah,
Yes.
I was wrong. I thought you said Soldiers, so I apologize. I did correct it.
No.
Okay, so my last thing I wanted to run by you is, have you
Okay.
heard about Nanos and having like a casino thingy, LLC, in his name or in his wife's name at his address?
Yes, I have heard that.
What do you think of that?
Well, I mean, that's kind of what makes me wonder if Nanos is tied to this and why everything seems strange and why he's trying to be hush-hush about stuff, because how do we know that, they say Tommaso was a gambler and that he liked to gamble, so how do we know that?
I was just going to say that, Christian. I was just going to say, remember in the
Nanos
beginning,
might alone,
we heard that he
Right.
was a gambler. How did we hear that? Where did that come from? I don't even know.
right. And then how do we know that Nanos didn't loan him money to gamble and, something happened to where Tommaso wasn't able to pay it back. And then, it's like, okay, well, then we're going to take your grandmother for ransom, or for debt or whatever, and all that. Because one of Annie and Tommaso's neighbors, I forgot whose podcast I was on last week, they came on there and they were talking about Annie and Tommaso haven't been home in over 3.5 weeks.
Really? I wonder where they're at.
Nobody's. Well, I'm thinking because there was a report saying that when Tommaso came to the United States that he didn't like America. So it makes me wonder if maybe they went to Italy thinking, okay, they're getting close to breaking this case open. We're tied to it. Maybe if we're over here in Italy, we can't be extradited back, which is wrong because you can be extradited back from any country.
I just think it's odd. I'm not going to lie. I think it's odd AF that they haven't come out besides the ransom responses and said diddly squat. Not a damn
Right.
thing.
Exactly.
Weird.
And, and it was funny is this because I was watching Ashley Banfield. I don't know if you watch her or not, but I was watching her on her Drop Dead Serious channel, and she came out with something today. It might have been yesterday, but I watched it. And she had somebody on there that has basically gone to a YouTube stream channel as like their main like journalist, but she was part of the Arizona family that owns like two
Brianna
television
Whitney.
stations. Yes.
Yeah, I
And
saw
she
that
said
as
that
well.
Yes, and she said that she actually read the ransom notes word for word.
Yep, she did.
And the whole bit. And she came out and she was talking about what they mean and all that different kind of stuff and all that. So that was kind of interesting because that's like the first details that we've gotten of what these ransom letters have actually said from beginning to end. She's the only one that's come out and said anything. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But I'm going to get off of here because I'm sure there's probably other people wanting to call in.
Well, listen, thank you, Folgers and Soldiers. I'll be checking you out and see what you're up to, okay? Folgers and Soldiers.
Folgers, fueled by Folgers and Jesus. So
Oh,
I'm going to go live.
I got that all fucked up. I apologize.
All right.
Take the floor,
It's
Christopher. Tell them your channel.
It's at fueled, FUELED, Folgers like coffee, by fueled by Folgers and Jesus.
There you go.
And please go over, like, and subscribe. I'm a new content
He's got it all
covering
down.
true crime, and all that. I was messing around with some AI videos. I've got some AI videos on there of me like searching and stuff like that. It's it's kind of fun. I wasn't making fun. It was just like if I was out there searching for Nancy.
Right. You were just playing with the AI.
Right,
Shake it,
right.
don't
You
fucking
know, and
break it,
it's like
baby.
little 10-second clips and stuff like that. Some stand-up
Well, have
comedy
fun.
type stuff
Have
and all
fun,
that.
Christian.
But
It was nice
I'm
meeting
going
you.
live at 9. Yes, it's nice meeting you. I'm going live tonight at like around 9 p.m. Central. So hopefully everybody can come over and check out my live, come in and say hi briefly or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we'll come over and say hi.
alrighty,
All right,
appreciate it.
Christian. Have a good
Uh-huh,
night. Thanks
thank
for the
you.
convo.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye. Wow, I liked that caller. Check out Folgers and Jesus. I could not get that straight for some reason. Oh, can we go to the liquor store, Nancy's? Hello, Criminal Network. How you doing? How you doing? Let's see. Yeah, we're going to go to Nancy's.
Dad, will you take me over to Nancy's? Dad, over to Nancy's.
300 days of sobriety. Let's get you a round of applause. Every day is a celebration. Thank you so, so much. Hello, Heatherly. Hello, S-Dubs. There's Christian. There he is. All right, let's take that baby off Do Not Disturb and take another call. 727-755-6001. Let's see what y'all got to say. Yes, round of applause. That is a huge feat. Every day is a celebration. I've got new sound bites I've got to load.
Smoke them if you got them.
Here we go. 402. Hello, you are live on the air with Jay. Who am I talking to?
Hi, Jay. It's White Lotus.
Hello, White Lotus. It's so good to talk to you.
You're cracking me up.
What? I'm in rare form tonight. I haven't been live in so long.
So I'm just going to dovetail off of what is it Christopher that was on?
Christian, yes. Folgers
Christian.
and Jesus.
Okay. So how can they declare her dead with a false ransom note? Who gets to make the decision that the family can declare her dead without any formal documentation?
Good question.
Just because somebody wrote in and said she's been perished?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what a judge needs for that.
Yeah, I don't know either. That just crossed my mind.
Good question.
Because he just was talking about how he went on, and they haven't listed that she was deceased. But I
maybe
don't know
her pacemaker results. Maybe like the information that goes to the cardiologist. Maybe they know when her heart stopped beating. I don't know. It's just a thought.
Yeah, I don't know because I just think that part is all made up. I mean,
you do.
I think the guy in the Tesla is. I think I heard someone say he is a property manager.
Yeah, and then somebody else thought he was a PI as well. Like he's hired by the family as a PI.
Smoke them if you got them.
He could be both, just watching the house and stuff. But with her death, I just wanted to throw that out there and see what everybody else thought. I mean, how can the family declare her dead if they're saying that they're fake ransom notes? And why is some random guy that we don't know declaring her dead? And that's okay to do?
Yeah, that's weird. I think those online sites, is that what you're talking about, like the Find a Grave?
Yeah.
Yeah, that disturbed me as well. I mean, especially that somebody could do it to a little girl and mark her deceased on Ancestry. It's like,
can I go in and change my husband's date of death or something?
I don't know, and that bothers me. It bothers me a lot. So I don't know.
I've
been bothered by that a lot of times. It was Summer Wells, and then there was another case where that same type of thing happened, and it was like, what? Or they have her body already, said Mr. Bright. Maybe.
Well, I thought that in the first, I think I said maybe the coroner came and took her and they knew she was already dead. And I thought that was very early on that they already knew, but I'm
The
gonna
6th,
go.
right?
And I want, huh?
They knew on the 6th, correct?
Well, I'm thinking they probably knew when they went over there. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, maybe they got her out of there. I don't know. Maybe they got her out of there without anybody knowing. And this is all just set up. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't, what my thought was today, I was thinking about this after I spoke with,
Love these call-in shows.
oh,
Jay.
hang on, we're getting a cooter
Thanks
chat.
for doing this. Cooter, cooter, cooter.
Thank you so much. I missed who that was from. Can someone let me know who that was from? Thank you for your cooter chat. Sorry, White Lotus. We got a cooter chat right in the middle of our convo.
No, that's okay. I was just going to say blow some smoke in my face.
Smoke them if you got them.
I was just going to say this last thing.
Yeah.
I know 857's case got dismissed today, but it's without prejudice.
So it can be
what
filed
that
again?
means, it can be filed again. It can be reopened, and further down the line can be reopened, and it can be refiled again. So I saw him out there celebrating, and I was happy it got dismissed, but
Sure.
I just don't know if he saw that it's without prejudice.
He probably
So
didn't.
hopefully-
He probably didn't. You
And
might have to
hopefully-
go over there and spoon feed that to him.
Probably. That's all I have. Jay.
Okay, well, I want to tell you
enjoy
something, White
your-
Lotus. I want to roll.
Yes.
I want to roll something by you real quick. So I was thinking today, what if? Okay, so this is my theory, and I just want to be able to tell it to somebody audibly. So my theory kind of is, if the family's involved, okay, let's go back to the very beginning. The first day that she was missing on Monday, the first full day, or actually the second day. The little card from Department of Health or whatever, right? We have the advanced investigator with a card in the door. That we have never gotten anything, and everybody blew it off like, that's normal. When people go missing, they show up. No, they don't. They don't show up with an advanced investigator. That is someone who's already been involved in a case and it's progressed. They don't get those people involved until it's progressed to something, a certain finding, if you will, of something. Okay. So knowing that they would not send one of their advanced investigators out there, why were they out there on Monday morning? Were they out there was it a scheduled visit with Nancy and someone knew she had that scheduled visit and they couldn't let her do that visit because she might talk? Because isn't it funny?
Yeah.
It happened the night before, the day before, this person, this advanced investigator showed up at her door.
That was from Adult Protective Services, right?
Yes. So let me take it a step further, okay? So then we hear Chris and Karen McDonough go to Tucson.
Yes.
And Karen talks to Nancy's friend, the one that called Annie that morning, right? So she talks to her. When she starts to ask about family dynamics, the lady shuts down and she says, "This is my last interview about Nancy." And I thought to myself, what would make one of my mom's friends say that if she was missing? And I thought the only reason would be fear that maybe they noticed something or they knew about this appointment or Nancy had confided in her. This is her best friend. And maybe with Nancy showing up missing, she's like, I don't want to be next. Right? Maybe?
Yeah.
Something spooked her, man.
I just don't understand if one of my best friends went missing.
Yeah.
And I had one of their kids come to me and say, we don't want anybody speaking out about this to anybody, no reporters. I would say, fuck you. I'm going to the police. I would not keep it secret. Why? That's the only one of her friends that even responded back to Karen. The others didn't even respond. Something is just so weird.
I could see if the lady said, out of privacy for the family, I don't want to speak on that. Cool. But she got all spooked. You know, I
Yeah,
mean,
she hung up on her.
Karen is very nice, you know, so I mean, you could say to her, I don't want to speak on their family dynamics.
Yeah.
But she sounded spooked to me, like this is the last interview I'm doing about Nancy. I don't know.
Yeah,
Just
that was really weird. I watched that, and Karen is very inviting and you know, kind and
another thing, White
soft-spoken
Lotus, is this is the same friend who was over on Friday to play mahjong and helped Nancy walk down to her mailbox.
That's weird. It's
Yeah.
just. It's
What does
all
she know?
so
What does she
weird.
know? You know?
She knows a lot, and then like the fourth person at mahjong. Where's Annie and Tommaso's kid in all this? Where is he?
Yeah, was he the fourth player? I wondered that too.
Yeah, I don't. And I knew she said she was starting to teach the younger generations how to play. So maybe he knew how to play.
He
Or
could have.
maybe they didn't even play. Maybe they didn't even play mahjong Saturday night. They did Friday night at her house.
Right. We don't know.
Maybe.
They just said dinner and game night, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah, so
still
we don't
those
know.
coyotes freak me the heck out. They just freak me out.
Yeah.
Not one other time have you ever heard that at night when those guys have been out there, you know?
No, I agree. That bothered me too. And that was on the 6th when we went back.
Mm-hmm.
That was the same day that they found out via the ransom that she was deceased.
Mm-hmm.
So
God, it
weird.
makes my stomach really nauseous. It really just makes me sick that this happened in this way and that somebody's letting it be hidden, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And there's multiple people that are letting it be hidden. It just really makes me sick
Well,
to
and
my
another
stomach that
thing,
this
if it
world-
was a kidnapping and they intended to keep Nancy Guthrie alive, Howard Blum told me today that all of her medications were lined up exactly where she left them. So if you planned on keeping this elderly woman alive, you'd think you'd
when you take her medicine.
grab her meds if you wanted to keep her alive and get millions of dollars, right? But they didn't.
Right. So you think that story is bogus about her and Victor, huh?
I do.
It's a good story. Though,
It's a
isn't
really
it?
good story. Yeah, there's a lot of them on Facebook too. There's a lot of weird off the wall Facebook pages that have a lot of stories that can look real. But yeah, no, I don't think it's real. But yeah, they're
Yeah. That's really crazy.
all right, White
Well,
Lotus. Well, thank you for calling
okay,
in.
you go. Yep, I'll be listening. Thank
Pleasure
you so
to
much.
talk to you
Have a
again.
good night.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
All right. I always talk her ear off when she calls in. Hello, Alice. 727-755-6001. Call me up. Let me know what you think. Hey, Lindsay Hendricks. Hello, you are live. Oops. No, you're not. You hung up. Call back. They didn't take the medicine because they took her to Mexico. They could get the medicine there. Hello, you are live on the air with Jay. Who am I talking to?
Hello?
Hello?
That's what
Greg said. Greg
It's
said.
Krisha. What's up?
What's up, Crash?
Just calling to mess with y'all. I've been dealing with air conditioner crap all day, and I'm like shaking.
Do you have air conditioning again?
We do.
Oh,
Finally,
good.
oh my God. What a nightmare.
Miserable.
Right?
Miserable. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to
Been
hear
days
that.
of this. And I call just a bitch. Okay.
Bitch away, girl.
Right. Anyways, I was listening to your interview earlier with Howard Blum. Is that his name? Howard Blum?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You did good. I hated the feedback. I can't believe that happened.
I
I
know.
was like, what?
I think that was because his laptop, he didn't have headphones in. And
Yeah.
my voice was going out his speakers and then back into his mic is what was happening. And he's like,
Damn.
I don't know how to turn it down. So she does sound like just like her mom.
I know. I get that a lot. Yeah.
Were you sweating from parts you didn't know you had?
dude. I'm like, why, man? Like, like I've been cussing all day under my breath. I've just been like, motherfucker.
Oh,
I
I would
hate
have
being
been.
hot.
Me too.
I'm so bitchy. Oh my God.
No, it's
It's
bad.
like everything, like I'm not one of those people that can just go camping in the summertime unless it's an air conditioned cabin or something.
Yeah, like I've been there
It's
when we have hurricanes and shit, we lose the power.
yes.
Our hotel
Mhm.
lost power when we evacuated. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. It sucks. I live in a hurricane prone area too.
Hmm.
And yeah, it does. It sucks. Like I remember being pregnant during Rita, and we went to my aunt's about 4 hours away in Texas, near Longview.
Hmm.
And I mean, I was like 7 months along, and we slept on an air mattress. And whenever I woke up, my hip was like embedded in the floor, which was,
Mm.
it was a slab underneath. I was just like, oh my God.
You're
I mean,
brave
it's
doing that while pregnant.
well, you have to. I mean, I think the worst thing is like leaving or having to evacuate and driving a standard. Like that sucks because everybody's like trying to get out and you are just, it's traffic. Just,
It's
ugh.
bad. Hmm.
Yeah. But I mean, we were built for this shit. We were built for
I
this
guess
shit.
so. You
I
say so,
remember
girl.
thinking that during the, I mean, it was during the pandemic, and we had Hurricane Laura, which was a cat. They were Cat 5s. They registered that at the airport here locally. But for insurance purposes, I'm sure they backed them down to Cat 4s, just so they wouldn't have to
Yeah,
pay all
make
that
sure you're
money.
drinking enough water.
That, I think that's why I'm shaky. Like I'm really,
Yeah.
hold my hand out and shaking.
Get yourself one of those liquid IVs.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good. Reminds me of Diddy. I don't know why. I guess the IV.
I get the bomb pop flavored, and it's so good. It tastes like a bomb pop popsicle. And literally,
Mm.
when I'm get like really dehydrated, I can tell I feel like that way. That shaky hormones don't help either.
Yeah.
But
No,
when I drink
what?
that,
I
it's
hate
like
hormones.
it's instant. It just instantly helps you. Hey,
Huh.
Tawanda.
I'm gonna have to go get that for me and Jason.
Yeah, it can't hurt. It
We're-
definitely can't hurt.
Yeah, big girl on a ladder today. It just is not cool. I was just like, oh my God.
So what do
Are
you
talking?
think?
Oh, there you are.
So what do you think about all this stuff?
Y'all don't want to hear my theories. Y'all really don't.
We really do.
Mine just is really, I don't know this case in and out. Like, I try sometimes not to get invested. I'm just like, yeah, no,
I can
no, no, no,
understand
no,
that.
no. And I mean, but
It's
then
just such
I
a
get
true
kinda
mystery.
sucked
It's
in.
like,
Yeah, it really sucks. It's really bad for Nancy. I hate that for her. I mean, I again, kind of like what I do with my family, Tylee and JJ and Charles. I imagine their last moments, and I can't imagine that. Like, it's devastating
yeah.
just to think about it, much less to actually know what happened.
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't. Okay, I'm gonna just tell you what I don't like.
Mhm.
I should just tell you what I like, but I don't like how Savannah called Nick Kelly.
Oh,
I mean,
Senator Kelly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like that. I mean, like, call 911, or I don't even know. We don't even know, right? Do we know? We might know.
Well, we know that either Annie or Tommaso called 911, but we haven't heard the
Mhm.
911 call. We don't. I don't even know if we know who actually called. To be honest with you,
I
but
mean,
we do
here they
know that
have-
Savannah found out hours later, and her sister was like, or she was, well, we're gonna call the hospital. I'm gonna call the hospitals, and her sister said, we've already called all the hospitals, but Savannah did it anyway.
Huh. I don't know why the first instinct would be, oh, let me call my friend, the senator who, I mean,
Mhm.
it's everything, how I feel about elites, and it's just, everybody's like, they can't all be bad. Yeah, they can. They really can. It's just safer for me to assume so at this point.
Yeah, it's so weird too because
bad.
there's like another thing with that Senator Kelly is
Yeah.
with JLR being out there years ago.
Right.
JLR had like done, I don't remember exactly what he did, but it involved the shooting of that dude's wife.
Right. I
don't-
didn't know that JLR was, oh, Lord.
Yeah,
attached.
something. Yeah. Hey, Captain Kev. So yeah, and it was just wild that this same senator is the one that.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my god, this is too weird.
And then Nanos on top of that. I mean, if I could just let it, just let me riff right now. I'm just going to say, like, I feel like Senator Kelly was called in and he got Nanos. I don't know if they're friends. In my mind, they are. Anyways, he got Nanos to do the cover up. I don't know. It's that easy. It's just like, but I mean, I don't know who took her. I have no idea. I have no idea. It just feels like cover up. It's contagious. It seems it's like all over the damn place.
Yeah, I mean, nothing makes sense. And the more we find out, the more questions than answers.
Yeah, and that sucks because it does, and it's natural. It's natural for us to find out. Just like when we're digging into something, I always have more questions than answers.
Sure, yeah. And this is one that feels like when we may never get them.
Right. I think eventually. I feel like it's going to disappoint a lot of people. That's just my gut feeling. Like, I don't know if it's going to outrage. I have no idea what it would even be, but I need to finish listening to your interview. That way I can find out what he thinks too.
Yeah, he does. He's like the same way, like more questions than answered.
Yeah,
but
he's pretty passionate.
But I feel like the info that he found out about the meds still being there.
Yeah.
That leads me to, I just don't think this was a kidnapping. I think it's supposed to look like a kidnapping.
Right.
Do you feel that way? Like we're supposed to think she was kidnapped, but she really wasn't.
I mean, but you know how I dig into the occult part of, the underbelly, the shadows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I mean, this is where I didn't study this shit in school, so it's not like I have any, you know what I mean, just knowledge from movies growing up and into my adulthood. That's about it. But I mean, I've heard of mafias and things like that, and you don't hear about mafias too much anymore. Like,
right.
Hardly at all. You hear about cartels. You hear about, I think mafias turned into Ricos, basically. I mean,
right,
to hold them accountable. And so it turned into like nonprofit money laundering, just these big networks of criminally minded people, corrupt, and then absolute power. Wait, what is the saying? Absolute power corrupts. I don't know. It's very simple, but I don't have it mastered.
So much corruption that we've seen, and it's just like,
I mean, so it's got to trickle down, like it affects everything. I'm telling you, if they would move all the quote unquote elites onto that damn island over there, we would have such a significant drop in crime, period.
Yeah.
I know that's not attainable, but has anybody checked into life insurance for Nancy?
Yeah, I don't think anybody knows. But
I mean,
it's
I'm
been
sure
discussed.
she had some, I mean,
she had to have had some. And then you got to think too, when her husband died, like he worked in the mines in Mexico. He was an engineer. Yeah. That's where he died. He had a quote unquote heart attack.
Yeah.
He was only 49.
That's very young.
So
I'm
died
47,
very young.
Damn it. I hate hearing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he was very young. And you got to wonder, like, what kind of benefits did he have?
Right. I mean, and didn't she work at the school, at the university, which, okay.
After he died, yeah.
And then, okay, there's a lot of activity that I have questions about with the University of Arizona. I mean, with all the universities, I'm learning. Okay, their sorority. Didn't Savannah go for some sorority? Look, I'm learning about sororities and fraternities and the oath and Freemasonry and just all these other, like I said, shadow networks, shadow organizations that exist. They do exist, and I mean, they put off a public image as if it's just, yeah, you want to join, yeah, but you're pledging, you are putting that organization first, like it's a pact. It's anyways. And with like Freemasonry, it's really secretive and weird. But I mean, I'm learning about all this, but okay, so the cases I looked into around Lori and Chad, David Hamlin, David Levitt, people that Lauren hasn't covered. Okay. That's all the people she's been protecting. Yeah. Caw. Oh, man. Yeah. So that's kind of a telltale for me. I'm like, oh, well, let's just look at all the things she hasn't covered that is like right there in your face, because I brought it up to her even. But anyways, David Hamblin's dad was a sociologist, and he was in behavior modification, and his mom, June and Robert Hamblin. And they were into, I mean, I'm straight up behavior modification. That is straight up mind control shit. It's like, oh my God.
That's crazy.
He was right there at the university, and they lived in Tucson. And so did Lauren's, what was her name? Her aunt, but not her aunt. Oh my gosh, what was her
Ruthie?
Name?
Ruthie.
Ruthie.
Aunt Ruthie.
She would go design.
Oh,
and
she was in Tucson.
Furnish the freaking Pentagon, government contracts.
Has Lauren ever covered this case?
No. Yeah, once or twice. I don't really know. I try not to freaking look at her ass.
Interesting that she's not all over it.
Right. It's weird. People were also saying that about the Lego thing, but then I saw she did a Lego thing, and I was like, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know,
She
man.
might be doing it just
I
for
totally do
backlash.
not think this was a rando. I don't think they just picked Nancy's house out of random.
No.
Definitely has to be
Target.
someone that knows her, or they had someone do it. Someone that knows her had someone do it.
For sure. And then you have the connections with, and I'm not accusing any of these people. I'm just,
sure,
spitballing.
right.
I don't know. It's just networks. It's birds of a feather flock all together. That's what they do. So, okay. And then Ruthie, her aunt, was married to a guy, I think Bill or Bob, I don't remember his name, but he was high up in the military as well. Does he know? And I want to say it's the same as Guthrie's son. Forget his name.
Cameron.
Cameron.
He was in the Air Force,
right?
He was in the Air Force. He was a
Air Force
F-16 pilot.
I'm gonna have to look in my book of Lauren to find out and refresh myself.
And we're not sure about where he was either, because Savannah said that when she got to Tucson, that Cameron and Annie were already at Annie's house. So we were kind of wondering, like, when did Cameron arrive? Was he already there?
Yeah. What was his, it's the weirdest freaking, it's just botched as far as information. It's like they put they hindered it every way they could. I think that the YouTubers being there really put a freaking crimp in their, a kink in their plans, so to speak, too.
To keep things under wraps.
Yes.
Yes, it was a little too transparent, and they weren't expecting that.
Right. But I don't know. There's there's David Hamblin. I'm thinking of Jody Hildebrandt. Her family lived in Tucson as well. And I know that Lauren's aunt or whatever, says that she wasn't Mormon, or Lauren says she wasn't Mormon, but still, she comes from those roots. So anyways, I'm basically trying to say the Wards. So I'm just thinking, I've been trying to figure out if like David Hamblin and like the Hamblin family has intersected at some point in Tucson with the Hildebrands. And
well, we can't forget, Kresha, that Tommaso is from Italy originally. That he didn't come to the States until I think he was 30. So he had a whole ass life in Italy that we know nothing about.
Wow. Anybody know anybody besides, don't call the Pope. He don't know shit.
No,
he knows
and
too
you
much.
and you really can't find. Yes, Andy, it's under Kresha. You really can't find much. You really can't find much, and he hasn't said a thing. Scrubbed everything off the internet, though.
Well, isn't that some shit?
Yeah.
I don't know what would possess somebody to want to scrub the internet unless they didn't want people digging. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's smart.
I mean, maybe it is.
Funny,
Maybe it
not
is
funny,
smart.
But kind of a coincidence, or I don't know. It's just I find it interesting. Is that before my uncle Charles was murdered, he like out of nowhere just kind of asked my mom, and so mom told me, he was like, "You ever Googled your name?" And then all this stuff happened, and I'm like, "Oh my God, talk about Google names." Like his name's Googled for sure all the time now, and it's I don't know. Anyways, kind of brought it to my mind, but yeah, let me go and.
Thank you for calling in, under Kresha. Go drink some. Greg said to drink some ice water. Greg said. It was nice chatting with you, girl.
Hi, you too.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Under Kresha. We love talking to Kresha. Oops. Whoops. I just called somebody and I don't know who the frick I'm calling. Whoopsie daisies. Okay, phone lines are back open. 727-755-6001. Wonderful caller, Miss Kresha. Difficult research. If you guys can share her link in chat, greatly appreciated. Let's take our next caller. You're live on air. Who am I talking to?
Hey, this is Brandy from North Carolina.
Well, hello, Miss Brandy. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. What's on your mind?
Thank you for taking my phone.
Yeah, absolutely. What's on your mind?
So I've got something a little different. It kind of focuses on the timeline.
Okay.
But it does go into the whole, this could be staged type of thing.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
So just bear with me here. So we know that Nancy was supposed to be at her friend's house for the church service that was like a restream at 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
We're not talking 11 a.m. Guatemala time, Chicago time. We're talking Tucson time at 11 a.m., right?
Yes.
And that's been confirmed by multiple people and also two separate articles, one in New York Times and one in PBS, that her church friends actually confirmed with the people doing the interview, okay? It's like out there. Receipts are out there. 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they're probably not going to freak out if she doesn't show up at 11 a.m. on the dot, right? Maybe she stopped to get coffee. Maybe she got held up in traffic. But maybe by like 11:10 or so, they get a little worried and they start to call her, text her. She doesn't answer. And then shortly after that, they call Annie and Tommaso, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we've also been told Annie and Tommaso were at Nancy's at 11 a.m. initially. Then that was walked back to 11:56. Then they waffle back and forth. Maybe it's 11. Then we hear on Chris McDonough, his sources close to the investigation confirmed they were there at 11, Annie and Tommaso. So why were they there at her house before she was even technically missing?
Well,
it doesn't make any sense.
I think what
they would have had to been there before. Before Nancy was even reported missing, Annie and Tommaso would have had to have been at Nancy's house. And that makes no sense to me unless something nefarious was going on.
Well, I think what Nano said was that they got the call at 11 and the family went right over. And then he walked it back and said they called at 11:57. Right, like they got there. Remember in the very first one, he was like, they looked around, they couldn't find her, and then they called. And do you remember, and I'm not trying to throw you off, but I'm putting some pieces together. Do you remember also at that 11 o'clock hour, that one lady came and sat down with JLR, and she was like, there was a man by my fence line at 11 a.m. that day. Remember when she said that? She was looking out at her patio, and a man at 11 a.m. and walked by, and it was like she was wondering if that was the person. She called and reported it. They didn't do anything right away. Do you guys remember that?
I don't know if I remember that.
Yeah, that just takes another thing at the 11 o'clock hour. I just wanted to throw that in there. Some people in the chat remember that.
Okay.
She was spooked about it.
Well, now this article also states that her friends actually drove by Nancy's house before they called Annie.
Who said that?
It was in the New York Times and PBS. Both did articles way back, like I want to say early on. So if they actually waited for her to show up at 11, she doesn't show, they hop in the car, they drive over to Nancy's house to see if they could find her or the car. What happens if they get there and just by chance see Annie and Tommaso at the house doing something they shouldn't have been doing?
I never heard that they drove by.
It's in one of those articles.
That's interesting. I'd never heard that. CL says I remember that. CL says they remember that.
So that means by the time they go drive by her house, now keep in mind she hasn't shown up. They probably waited a few minutes. They hop in the car. They go right by her house. We're probably talking 11:30 or so at this point, right? So, but Chris McDonough specifically said Annie and Tommaso were at the house at 11. If they were there at 11,
beginning.
how did we know? No, but Chris McDonough literally just said this a couple weeks ago on his show.
Did he really? Well, no, what I'm saying is in the very beginning, Nanos did make it sound like when Nancy didn't arrive at 11, because I think they said in the article, the friends said she was usually early. So when she wasn't there by the time church is supposed to start, which you guys, it was a replay of Savannah's church in New York. So they weren't watching it at the same time as Savannah. Not live. It was a replay. So, but he made it sound like they got the call from the lady at the church and went right over. And then we heard that the officers didn't arrive until 12:15. So we were all like, well, what the hell went on for an hour? Then in the next press conference, he backed that up and said the call came in at 12:50 or 11:57.
But I'm wondering if that's why he waffled and walked that whole timeline back, was because they got the whole thing botched from the beginning. Because remember, they're getting this timeline directly from Annie and Tommaso. Mm-hmm. Annie and Tommaso could have told them anything for all we know.
Well, and you're right. And another thing to remember that Howard Blum told me today, that he was told the family is the one that gave the information about what she was last wearing, and that matched the ransom. That is only confirmed by the family. No one else would know what they said. Yeah, that's what our mom would be wearing.
Yep. How? Yeah.
So they
I'm just saying there's something fishy going on with this timeline.
no, I agree with you
And,
there.
I mean, I'm just saying, if they were already there before, because see, for me, I'm not going to, just because she's always on time, I'm not going to completely freak out to the point where I get everybody involved because she's 5 or 10 minutes late. What if she stopped to get coffee or something on the way, or, like I said, got stuck in traffic or something? Maybe I'll give her, 5 or 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
But this,
You're right.
something just doesn't seem right about this
Okay,
timeline situation.
so let's talk about this then. So let's take what Karen McDonough said about the friend not wanting to talk, especially about family
Right.
dynamics, right? And then let's take
Right.
into account that those friends could have been on high alert. Why did everything move so fast, like you're saying? I never thought of that. Like,
well, because if we're going to believe that article that they drove by there before they called Annie, and they clearly saw something that was off, that wasn't right. And maybe that's why maybe Annie and Tommaso were there, or maybe they just saw blood on the stoop and freaked out, or the doors open. I don't know.
You know what? That could be because her friend was there on Friday and said that she walked Nancy from the front door to the mailbox and had to assist her that day.
You're right. So I'm wondering if the friend didn't just shut that down really quick because either she saw something that was way off when they got to that house to look for, or if they knew maybe they did find Annie and Tommaso there. Because if they were there at 11, who's to say they weren't there at 6 o'clock in the morning? We don't have any other video footage. We wouldn't know. We'd have no idea.
All we know is that her pacemaker disconnected from her watch or her phone at 2:28. But what I'm getting from what you're saying is if she wasn't supposed to be there till 11, why were they already on the phone with Annie at 11?
Why
would you call so quick? Like you said, why wouldn't you give it 10, 15 minutes?
That's my point. That's my whole entire point.
Even if they didn't drive by, let's take that out of it. Let's say that didn't happen.
Right.
They still were very quick to call Annie and be like, she didn't make it.
Exactly. That's my point. If something is off with that.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Because that is really quick to, okay, she's usually early, but like you said, things happen. Yeah, her pacemaker had Bluetooth. Sure did. To the app.
I can't piece it together. I don't know what it is. I'm just saying something is off with that timeline. Something is off with those two. My gut is telling me something's off with those two. But when you really think about that timeline right there, and that 11 o'clock is when she goes missing, or doesn't show up for church, yet Annie and Tommaso, like you said, take the they ride by out of it. Why would they call if she's 30 seconds late? I mean, at least give her 5 or 10 minutes in case she stopped to get a coffee or something. Maybe she stopped to get donuts or something. I mean, who knows? But according to Chris McDonough and even Nanos at one point, they were there at 11, Annie and Tommaso.
See, and I don't know where, I'd love for you to find that because I pulled up a timeline from NBC. It says 11:56 a.m. family checks on Guthrie. There's really nothing about the friends.
I swear, Chris McDonough did a timeline. It was, I want to say, maybe 3 weeks ago. He specifically said that there were investigators or sources close to the investigation that confirmed they were there at 11. But yet there are other multiple sources saying Nancy was supposed to be at the Friends at 11.
Yeah,
It's just odd.
it is odd, but I wish I could see that where I never heard that anybody drove by. But I mean, that does kind of make sense.
If you pull up, I actually used AI. I think I used Grok, and then I used Gemini. I pulled up PBS and New York Times article from Nancy Guthrie's friends.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I'll do is I
Her
will
friends
actually
have they have an interview with the New York Post.
Okay, maybe it was the Post and PBS.
I know the Post one because I read that one on live.
What I'll do is I can go and look it up, and if you want me to, I can email them to you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But I know.
Yeah, if you find
I know
that.
what I read, and I know what I heard. McDonough was saying that she was supposed to be because see, everybody's saying, "Oh no, she wasn't supposed to be." You're off. Like she was supposed to be at the Friends at 9 a.m., but it wasn't 9 a.m.
I wonder if maybe he misspoke. I'd like to hear that. Yeah, if you do find it, please do email me.
I will. Anyway, I just wanted to call and throw that out there because I can't be the only one thinking that this is totally just weird.
Yeah. No, there is a lot of weird things that don't make sense. And the more that we talk about it, the more questions we have, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thank you for
All right,
calling
well,
in, Brandy.
You're welcome. I'll email that to you as soon as I find it.
Sounds good. If you need my email, I'll put it in the chat right now.
Yeah, please do that. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Brandy. Have a good night.
Okay. You too.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, Bert and Ernie's. Are you ready? I know Bert and Ernie's been trying. 727-755-6001. Yeah, I don't know. I never heard anybody drove by, so. Hello, you are on air with Jay. Who am I talking to?
Hi, Jay. This is Sparky. How are you doing?
Hey, Sparks. Good to hear you.
Hey.
You're even
Yeah, same.
Sparky
Greetings.
on the
Go ahead.
phone. You're so cute. What's happening?
Hey, so I was just got back in and caught the last caller, and what she said was super interesting. Along somewhat similar lines, I was thinking and listening to some commentary about the ransom notes themselves and their content and the wording, which, like, the wording of those notes has been like quite the topic lately about, buried with nature and
Yeah.
perished and all of that. What I was thinking about, and I think it was Ashley Banfield that recently talked about this, was the fact that the ransom notes were not seemingly structured in a way that, like, a professional quote unquote ransomer would do it. Like, they were saying that a lot of the time with ransom notes, you're having people give like really strict deadlines, like within 24 hours, if I don't get the money, I'm going to cut her finger off, or within a day, I'm going to cut her hand off or whatever. Like, there's this time pressure threats and stuff like that. And I'm not sure we really saw that with the ransom notes, did we?
Mm-mm.
So, like,
Not
to
that we
me,
know of.
that kind of, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Or it could be things we don't know about. But, like, to me, that kind of points to these kidnappers or whoever, abductors, murderers, probably not being in the business of kidnapping, which can help maybe narrow things down to, okay, who might it not be, who might it be. I've talked about a bunch of times my own little pet theory about it being like an accidental death of some kind, and potential like sloppy attempted ransom to cover up, blah blah blah. And I still feel like that may still hold with this. But I'm curious what you think about those ransom notes and their wording. And I'll take your comments off the air so that you can get other people to call in.
Oh, no, you're fine. You can stay on for a minute.
Okay, sure.
I just think after talking to Howard Blum today, and we were talking about the wording and how it sounded poetic, some people are saying it sounded feminine. He said, is it AI? And I'm like, God,
Right,
that just
and I
throws
wondered that too.
everything out because,
Yeah.
AI uses weird words like perished. And
Yes.
it can make
And
it sound like something you'd never say, you know?
Yes, that's such a really, really good point, and I'm so glad you brought that up because that was like the other part of what I wanted to talk about too. So in addition to the AI, some people have commented that using a translation app, like perhaps the original note was not in English, it could have been in whatever language, and yeah, I've experienced that too because every now and then I'll do like translations. I'm bilingual Swedish and English, and sometimes I just want to double check. And it will like grab, how do I put this? When you're translating, like a person is translating and they know the sense of what is to be said. Sometimes the computer doesn't know the sense and just does a blanket translation, like perish instead of died or passed away like we'd normally say.
Right, in that
so
context.
Like what you say, yep, exactly. So like the context can feel off and stuff like that. To me, I could see people's points also with like the poetic / feminine side. I have no reason to discount that. You know what I mean? But
especially after seeing Annie's card, we're standing on scorched earth and all of that.
And I really hate to say this, but the way the letter reads is very Annie to me, and I really hate to say that because I don't want to assume or think that she would have had anything to do with it. But it's just what we've seen of certain people's writings, like that writing and her writing definitely feels similar. And who knows, like whoever did the crime could have looked at that and go, oh yeah, we're gonna tweak things. Maybe they knew Annie before. Like a lot of people are saying maybe this person knew Annie and decided, to go after her mom because like her mom is Savannah's mom also, blah, blah, blah. So, so fascinating.
It is. It's a true mystery. And the more you talk about it, like I just said to Brandy, like the more you talk about it, the more questions you have.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, are these ransom notes, are any of them even real?
Right. Exactly. And I'm so on the fence about that too, because just literally because of that very fact of like true ransom notes historically, according to people that are, law enforcement, are very like time and, lots of pressure. I'm going to do this to your loved one if you don't do this within 48 hours. Like we're not seeing that as far as we know. And that's what leads me to almost lean that it's a fake or some kind of like way to cover tracks of some kind. I don't know. Still working through that in my mind.
No, it's definitely, that part is perplexing. But then if you're like, oh my God, if they're all fake, then it's just like, what the heck?
Square one.
But he seemed, Howard Blum seemed to think that the investigators feel like there was a missed opportunity when they wanted the $4 million and Savannah was willing to pay it and they advised her not to. And then they go and throw $157 or whatever the hell it was in there to tickle the wire. Like, what? Who the hell is going to risk?
I feel like that was so stupid.
So stupid. Yeah. Who's going to risk themselves to go take out $100?
Yeah, and that account's probably abandoned anyway right now, unless we know otherwise. Like, no, they probably just were like, well, fuck this. Screw this. We're not going to, we're not going to use that account. So, I feel like people are discounting the sophistication of these folks. I hear that all the time, like, oh, they didn't do this, so therefore they're not sophisticated. It's like, well, they have eluded you now for 5 months. So let's talk about
they keep calling this guy a bumbling idiot and stuff. Yeah.
Whoever it is not a bumbling idiot. Either they're really smart or they're so... Yeah, I can't get behind the bumbling idiot comments that some of the people, and it's been people that are really experienced too, which really makes me think, am I totally off base? Are they saying that so that the, killer kidnapper hears it and gets pissed and like does other actions that might out them? You know what I mean? Like, is it all a trap or like trying to trigger them into doing something else? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It's very strange.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just pulling up this article from the Friends and to see what it said. So I'm going to play a little.
From what Brandy was saying?
Yeah, I found the article where I read it. Thank you, Lindsay, for gifting it. Awesome. All right. Well, I will let you go, Sparks.
Yeah, thank you for taking my call, Jay, and hello everybody in chat. I love you guys. Love your show, so appreciate you, Jay.
Thank you. I appreciate you as well. Have a good night,
All right,
Sparks.
Talk to you later.
Okay.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
She laughs when I call her Sparks. Let's listen to this for 1 second. Okay, so this is about the morning of, okay? All right, so here we go. I'm going to play it from here. Goodbye on the afternoon of January 30th. Miss Guthrie checked with one of the players, Ann Burson, making sure they were still on to watch church at a friend's house on Sunday. Their ritual was to gather in the friend's den and watch a recording of the Manhattan service that Miss Guthrie's youngest child, Savannah, had attended earlier that morning. They even had wafers and grape juice on hand for communion. But Nancy Guthrie, always punctual, did not arrive at 11 a.m. Punctual, on February 1st. Her friends texted. Okay, so it said Nancy Guthrie, who was punctual, did not arrive at 11 a.m. on February 1st. Not arrive at 11 a.m. on February 1st. Her friends texted, then called. They contacted Miss Guthrie's older daughter, Annie, who rushed to the home. It was empty. Now, nearly 2 weeks after her disappearance, authorities said they are investigating an abduction. Her friends and family say they're refusing to give up hope of finding her alive. So, what happened on the 31st? So, they're not specific about that. They're not specific about the time that the friends called in this article. But this does, I'll give you the link to this because I read the New York Times article. Yeah, this is it. I read this back on February 20th. But let's listen to this part. She told a friend, things became more difficult. She told a friend, Chris Federhar, that she no longer felt comfortable going to a movie theater up a flight of stairs, only half jokingly referring it to a fire trap. She had a pacemaker and relied on daily medication. So we have the hearing aids left behind, the medication left behind. She played Wordle. She read books. This wasn't a lady that was all over the place, you know what I mean? And she began using a cane and powerful hearing aids. There's one from February 22nd, New York Times. Is that the one you sent me, Linz? All right, let's take a call while I pull this up. 727-755-6001. Hey, Melissa Hart. Good to see you. Hello, you are live on air with Jay. Who am I talking to?
Oh, Jay, it's Gladys.
Hello, Gladys.
I can't believe I got you. Oh my gosh. I'm putting groceries away. I thought I'm just going to hit speed dial because I want to talk.
Well, bing bong, you got through.
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad I got you.
Me too.
I'm so glad you're doing this tonight. This is so awesome.
Me too. What's on your mind, girl?
Well, I saw, and now I don't remember who it was, but I realized it made me start thinking, some YouTube today that was talking about how they think it was jealousy from Annie. But here's the thing. I think especially these old-time investigator, LEs, whatever they are, that are on these panels are, for one thing, they're men, and I don't think they understand sometimes how women can fight. You know, sometimes women fight differently, like when you're growing up, guys just go duke it out, but like the whole Mean Girls thing. I mean, remember the Mean Girls in the Burn book? It was very devious and underhanded. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that Annie is jealous of Savannah. I don't think she did it, and I don't think that's why. I mean, I think not everybody wants to be famous. Apparently Savannah does, but I don't think that was really on Annie's agenda, just based on what little we know of her. I mean, we know Tommaso wanted to be famous, but I don't think he really dedicated himself to that life. But what I don't understand is these old investigators, I don't think they understand. I think there's something, I mean, this is definitely a cover-up. I'm not sure who's covering up what, but I don't think one sister did it to the other. I think they're all covering up, or the sheriff. And I think they're very clever about it. I think everything they've done has
And I
been to
don't
throw
give a F what
everyone
Buzzy says
exactly where
about
they're
you.
going.
She can F directly
You know,
off.
like the wording and the cards and the timing. I think it was a very expert cover-up. And I'm not sure who I think did it, but I don't think it was for money or revenge. I really believe that especially people who are famous, who like being famous, stop at nothing for what they want. And I don't think they're looking in that direction at all. You know,
You
like
don't?
a lot of these profilers, you know, they're so caught up on the porch guy. We didn't even know about the porch guy. We didn't even know about ransom notes until, the day after she was gone, or 2 days? I don't remember the timeline now. But
we didn't find out so much later, but they knew the next day, day 2.
Yeah, but they didn't leave the ransom notes in the house.
No.
Is my point. And I kind of think, like, real ransom notes, if they snatch somebody, they leave a note to kind of prove that they have, well, not in all cases.
I mean, I think it's
apparently.
weird. No, I think it's weird that it came so much later, especially if they didn't take her medications. I mean,
Yeah,
if
like
she
an
can't live
afterthought.
if she can't live without the medication, how are you going to keep her alive to wait a day? Okay, the ransom note came in at 6:48 p.m. on February the 2nd.
Which was
Monday.
Monday.
Wait.
Yes,
Yeah,
the
Monday.
first was Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or they did have medicine lined up, and they just wanted everybody to think they left it. I don't know. I don't think they're bumbling idiots. I think it's a lot more sophisticated of a plan. The one thing I do think that went wrong in committing this perfect crime, whatever the crime is, we still don't even know that, but I really do think they underestimated the media reaction. I don't think anyone expected or anticipated people crawling out of the woodwork there are people who do this every day on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I don't think they expected that. And I think it really kind of botched everything up, for whether it was nanos or whether it was a stunt for publicity, which is kind of what makes the most sense to me out of all of it. Or I still somehow in the back of my mind believe that maybe before the birthday party or whatever dinner I guess it was the dinner, I think maybe she got some bad news about her health, and maybe asked for assistance in unaliving herself. I don't know, but I know if that had happened, that would be, and people who have been through this, it's a horrible situation because you can go to prison for helping someone do that. And in their religion, it's like,
but don't you think they would have, like,
do.
if she's a journaler, like they would have found some evidence of that, possibly?
Exactly.
And why would you
that's
need
the
a
thing.
masked man, though, to do that?
Well, I think the cover-up is just for the shame of it all. I mean, that's like the worst thing you can do in the Catholic Church. I don't know if, well, I've heard they were Catholic, but then they go to some other church. I don't know. I don't know the religions, but
we just get more and more questions as we go. But
well, yeah.
what
there's
about the
so
blood
many
out front, though?
Well, I kind of think all of that, like the porch guy, I think the porch guy was an afterthought, and I wouldn't be surprised if that showed up. Well, it couldn't have been when the media was there because they would have been on that, but it was something that was done, I think, after the fact, and I think it was a diversion. and nobody has the date on that. I know FBI has the date. Of course they have the date, but there's some reason we're not supposed to know what the date is. And that's fine, but it's like this never-ending mystery. And I was thinking last night, when this is solved, if ever, I don't think we'll ever know the half of it, really. But, gosh, what am I going to do for entertainment when this is over? It's like I'm glued to this case. I just can't think about any other, like, not even interested in watching Netflix. It's like, I don't know.
It's
I
like
want to know.
a true mystery. You've got all the elements and dynamics of, it's like a Hollywood movie.
Well, the other thing, Sleuth had a thing today where Noam Chomsky, he's...
Who?
He's a guy, I think he's associated through the University of Arizona.
Oh, yeah. No. I don't want to put anybody's names out there. I don't like that guy does that. Yeah, I don't like that because these people could have absolutely nothing to do with it. And he likes to put people's faces and names. I don't do that. So, I mean, it's okay to theorize, but just to put real people in there. I mean. Right.
But what my question is about that, or can I say my question, or maybe not?
If you don't use his name, sure.
Okay. So my question about the guy I won't name, sorry, I already did. So he's affiliated with the university. He's also affiliated with I'll just call him.
He's affiliated with what? The university and what else?
Epstein. There has been communication they found between the two of them like years ago, 10 years ago or something.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know anything about that. And what would that have to do with Nancy?
Well, ironically, he has or had a house like right near there. I mean, they were neighbors, so I'm sure, and I know she knew him from the college, but I mean, I don't know. I'm not really sure how this connects, and I don't think it's revenge for Savannah. I mean, she wasn't that kind of a journalist.
One of the ransom notes said, "Dear Savannah." If we believe the ransom notes, the first one said, "Dear Savannah," so they somehow put her in there,
But my point is, I don't think it has to do with her reporting on the Epstein victims, because she did interview them, but her reports weren't all that. I mean, some people think it's revenge for touching on that, and I don't necessarily think that, because her reporting, it was mostly naming people who had already been named. It's not like she
didn't have any exclusives. No.
Right.
I mean, I get that the Epstein thing can take people into rabbit holes. I totally get that, because that whole thing is just so unbelievable. And then when we found out it was all real, it's mind-blowing.
I know.
And it makes you feel like anything is possible, and I get it. I do get it.
You can't believe that can happen, and then they show you, and it's like, whoa. Well, I'm wondering but maybe in doing that, maybe she found out something she wasn't supposed to know. I mean, that's possible.
Yeah, I mean, anything's possible, right? Ultimately, at the end of the day, anything is possible. But I'm just very careful about naming people that, I mean, that person could have had a great working relationship with Nancy. And it's just, it would be a shame to put anything on that isn't real. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I mean, it could have nothing to do with it. I worry about these profilers, though, who are just, it's almost like they're doing basic, I don't know. Sometimes I wish I felt like some of them were sharper. I hope the FBI people that are actually employed right now are sharper than some of the guys I hear on the TV.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know if you saw White Boy Lockdown Radio call the FBI with a tip the other night.
Yeah.
And did you hear the music? I don't have a whole lot of, I'm sorry, I don't have a whole lot of faith. It was wild. I was like, this really feels like a freaking movie at this point.
1952
What was
jazz.
that? What was that? It was like literal circus music. I pictured Cash in a tutu. I was like, what? It didn't seem real. It did not seem real.
It was like elevator music before there was elevator music. But yeah, anyway, there are so many different ways this thing can go. And I think it goes a lot deeper in a lot of ways that we'll never find out about. But I'm wondering, would you send me your email? I want to send you some stuff unrelated to this. This is on
I'll put it in the chat.
John Bonet.
Oh,
okay,
yeah, absolutely.
that'd be awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, because I want to send you some stuff and just get your take on it. But,
awesome.
I really appreciate you taking my call.
you.
I won't keep you because I know you're very popular. Everybody wants to talk to you.
I don't think so, but I do have a couple people that do want to call in, and I do appreciate talking to you. It was nice.
I love you. You have the best voice ever, too,
Aw,
by the way.
thanks.
That's how I found you. You snagged me with your voice. It's like, whoa.
Maybe
I've
I should turn off
this.
the camera. I'm just kidding.
No.
Thank you. No,
it's been
thank
great
you.
ever since.
I'm
so
just
thank
kidding. I'm
you.
just kidding. Thank you so much. Have a great night, hon.
You too.
All
Thanks.
right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
727-755-6001. I know, but some boomers can't they have a hard time with this information. It goes down rabbit holes. I'm telling you, my sister-in-law and brother are the same way. You got to be very gentle with some people. A lot of this Epstein stuff, the JFK files, the fucking UFOs, it's blowing some minds, y'all. 727-755-6001. Gladys, it was a pleasure. Get the rest of your groceries put away and enjoy your evening. My email. Is anybody else going to call? We're receiving calls, Bert and Ernie. The moon landing. Yeah, all that shiz. It's a lot to take in. What's up, Evelyn? I almost put moon in your email. Right. Being so... Right. No, I get it, too. It's just been a lot. The only thing that blew my mind is the NASA toilet breaking. Oh, that and the SpaceX. Oh, we got a caller. Hello, you are live on air with Jay. Who am I talking to?
Jay, it's Ann. It's Bert and Ernie's Adventure.
Hi, Bert and Ernie. You got through.
Yes, yay!
Yay.
It's like I'm on a radio show.
Round of applause. What's up? You've been waiting a long time. You got the floor.
I haven't. So I just really think that the family's involved because it's just everything about it. Like, we don't even know Nancy even went home that night. We don't know, like,
Stop right there.
No
Stop right there.
Independent.
Stop
yeah.
right there. What do we have? I was just going to say this when I was listening to the last caller, Gladys. I was thinking in my head, what do we have that proves she got home other than the freaking garage door opening and closing? And where does that come from?
But that could be him entering the house to stage it, though. And, like, so we don't know.
True. We don't know that she was there.
But I want those records because then we'll know how many times the garage door opened and closed. That was something that you would have known that Nancy would have left that morning and what time. Like, if she was going to meet the friends, supposedly, whatever, then the family would have expected to see the garage door opener. But yet they go over there. They wait 20 minutes to call the police when they see the blood, the cameras, the doors open. Come on now.
Yeah, I forgot about the door being propped open, too, in the back.
I mean, it's like all of these things, but yet, like, that's something that you would call, you would be going to the neighbors, you would be doing all of these things. And I'm also upset because where is the dependent adult abuse worker? Like, where? It's driving me nuts.
No, you're right. The back door being
because they would have the experience. I mean, I worked with police that weren't used to really working like kidnapping cases, but that would happen a lot with elderly people because you would have families fighting over them. It's sad, but it happens a lot.
It does. It does. And I'm not discounting that. Like, I'm not fully past the local family either. And we don't know, like, when they got there.
Yeah, it could be any of them.
Did they go in the front? Did they go to the front door? Did they look? Did they see the blood?
But wouldn't that be your first reaction? And also, they were there for, I mean, at a minimum, 20 minutes, okay, before they called the police. So
this
think of
article
all the
here
things.
says that they were, okay, so in the beginning, we heard they were over there much earlier, right? We heard they got a call from the friends at like 11 when she didn't show up, and they went right over. So they're like 15, 20 minutes. So that would put them there like 20 after 11. Let's give them that. Well, then we have the 911 call not being made until 12:57.
12:15? Yeah, so it's even like longer. So like I was just taking,
yeah,
I think it was like one of the initial reports.
But then,
yeah, because like,
but then he backed that up and he said the family got there. It says in this article at 12. Okay, at 12:56, and they called police at 12:57. Or I mean 11. Sorry, let me say that again. It says they arrived at the house at 11:56 and called police at 11:57. The first deputy arrived at 12:15. So we're supposed to believe that they got the call at 11. Your mom's not here. Your mom didn't make it here for church.
Yeah, so it was, and then it took them like an hour.
And then they didn't get there until 11:56.
Yeah, and they only live like, okay, it's like 2 minutes or so.
That's
I
like
forget.
15 minutes
it's
away.
Like less,
like I just said, if we give them 15 minutes, we say around 11:15, 11:20. Regardless, even if it was 11:30, what did you do?
Yeah, that's my thing. That's why I was giving them. I guess that was where I got my 20-minute window from, because I was just like out of habit. I know like how long it's supposed to take an average person to like get ready or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it just doesn't make sense to me. So let's give them 20 minutes then.
You got 'em.
Right.
That's a long time to be in a house. You know what I mean? I think it's crazy.
I mean,
amount of time.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they did. I don't know if they went outside, if they walked the perimeter of her yard, looking to see if she wandered off because the door was open. And then they called the hospitals to see if she had been taken because the door was propped. And then they called the popo. So I don't know. We don't know what they did in that. You know what I mean?
I know. See, that's the thing. And most normal people, though, they would call 911 to check to see if the person was picked up. You know what I mean? Like the elderly person for being ill or whatever. You know, I mean, that's just typical.
But her friend did say that she wanted to be independent and wanted to walk to her mailbox but needed assistance. So, like, maybe if she was a stubborn woman, they thought, oh, my God, she tried to, you know, go out in the backyard and do something or, you know.
Yeah, but then they would have seen, I mean, because, like, her property's not that big. So they could have, like, gone through the plate. I don't know. I just think that's where I got the feeling, bad feelings, was from the whole initial thing doesn't make sense to me. Because I have a garage door opener, and you can set it up so that you can get, like, alerts on your phone, like if somebody opens the garage door or closes it. So, I mean, you can go in there and check to see what time somebody opens or closes, you know. So I just wonder,
how can you check that though? Like, what if you just have an old school?
Oh, it's on the app. It's on the app.
So we know for sure there was an app. Was
yeah,
it on
so it's
his?
Like that.
Like we
My
don't.
Q.
But we don't know whose phone
this
it
is
was
from
on.
Their.
Whose phone?
Yeah, we don't know either. Well, no, I mean, this is that was information that was released. Was
by
the
who though?
Type of garage door opener. I can't remember who did it. I would have to go back and look.
Yeah, I never heard that like officially any brand. Maybe
and so
people
that's
have
where
speculated, but
Yeah, I can't remember if it might have been in one of Annie's posts or something. That's the only thing I can't
Yeah,
remember. 'Cause
I
I've
never
looked
heard
through
that.
her
Maybe
post
people
too.
in chat can. Yeah, we don't know that for sure. I guess that was speculated. It was open for 2 minutes and then it closed. That's all we know is that the
Yeah,
garage door opened at
like I said, I
9:48
can't.
and it closed at 9:50. That's all we know.
Yeah. So that was my thing, but how did they get that piece though? Because that was where I got the my cue from. I'm sure it was around that time when they released the time frame of the. But anyways, so that's where my mind kind of went, because I'm like, it would be natural for the caretaker to have that on their phone, especially if you worried about them. That would be something that they could check,
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. That's kind of where I went with that.
Yeah,
I was going to talk about.
It's a lot. 2 minutes. I mean, we don't know. Did he pull in the garage because her car was in there? It would have been a tight squeeze for her to get out with a cane and walk in. I mean,
yeah, and also I've watched like kind of his habits of like coming and going at the house. Like he tends, like what driveway they use, like those types of things.
Yeah.
That would be helpful. I want some bank statements though. I want some bank statements and those records from the garage door, because that's something you could just request, I would assume.
I would
from
assume
the
that they're
company.
checking her finances. I mean,
Yeah,
look
I
in
would
the
think
Idaho
so.
4. Yeah, they requested all of the victims' bank information. Of course, that's
I
part.
was the first thing I always did
Because you
because
don't know if this is like a scam.
yeah,
She could have been scammed
exactly.
and got, mixed up with some people that were bad and found out she had a little bit of money. I don't know.
Exactly. I
You
was
know?
thinking about that too yesterday when we were talking about the how the elderly get scammed and all the different ploys that are that occur with like elderly people, especially lonely people. And I've seen that where like they'll get a caretaker and then all of a sudden the caretaker rushes in, tries to get the power of attorney, tries to get the, like all of these things all at once. And, access to the funds and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I just am curious, because you can see how caretakers can then become, but I just think it's somebody
Right, but
that's
let's say
very
this.
in
Okay.
the circle.
Let's say this. Let's say that they were, helping themselves to some money. It doesn't mean they killed her, right?
No.
So
No.
okay, let's say they figured that out. Okay,
Yeah.
there's some shit going on in her finances.
But what if she
But they
found
have
out
to hook that to whoever killed her, right? So they can't
Yeah.
go arrest anybody because it would
No,
never
I know,
stick.
that's the thing.
Right.
Yes.
So is that the silence? Is it warrants? Is it, things that we're
Or
not
is
even
it
thinking
that
of that they're
DNA
looking
piece
into?
that we're waiting on? Are they waiting to exhaust all other options?
Yeah, I don't know.
So I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at with it. If it's not, I just think it has to be somebody in her inner circle that is, that knows a lot about her. That's why I'm kind of not seeing the kind of stranger abduction sort of situation you would see.
Yeah, I don't think it's a
And
stranger
also
either.
those like fraud people,
Who?
their intention, like the people that do fraudulent schemes on elderly people, they don't tend to do the hands-on sort of situation.
Yeah, they want gift cards and shit wired.
Yeah, they want to keep their people alive.
Yeah,
because that's
that's
their
true.
income stream. So they're and that's where I kind of lose it with that kind of MO. and thought, that's kind of my thinking with that.
Well, I just thought of something else where Salty in chat put someone close to her with a little thinking emoji. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, wouldn't they also have to look at maybe her friends' children? Do any of her friends have children that live at home? Or, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people that could be in that inner circle
outside
of
it's that core.
Yes. And we just don't know shit about it,
I wish we knew more, but I don't know. I would react differently if that was. I just have seen. I don't know. I'm just skeptical. I think it has to be somebody in the inner circle because of her health issues. Because it's hard to move people.
And who,
with,
what? And like Howard Blum said today,
sick.
I think he opened this up the best way. He said, can we talk about how deplorable, like how sad this crime is? To do this to an 84-year-old woman, like, in my mind, there's nothing worse than hurting a child. Would be worse, elderly and children.
And the thing that upsets me is for some reason in society, we think that if we steal from our elderly, like our parents or whatever, then it's not that bad. The punishment isn't as bad when you financially exploit person, person versus when you just have the outright theft. And it's just so crazy to me that I've seen that in the upside down world where we're not, it's better to steal from your family. I just don't get that, And some people just really think that their parents' money is like their inheritance and they want it when they want it. So I
we
do
hear
see
about
this
that a
kind
lot.
of as a financial crime. That's usually why. I mean, I've seen people. I had this one time they stole this elderly person because they wanted his life insurance, but he wasn't even dead yet. I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
So
that
you
does
just have
happen
the
where you
weirdest
have
things.
some kids that like, well, give me, I want my inheritance now because I need it now or whatever. And the parents are like, no.
Yeah. No. And see, we don't know
No,
any
we don't.
of those sorts of things. And when the friend didn't want to talk about the family dynamics,
Mm-hmm.
I think she might just be kind of afraid, like, if she's wrong, then, like, she doesn't want that guilt or whatever of, like, accusing someone, of something just by stating
Yeah, it might just
the
be
family
an
dynamics
uncomfortable,
one way or the other.
It might be an uncomfortable question too, though. Like,
yes, it is.
You don't want to
Especially
put
for older
anything out
people.
there. Yeah, like I couldn't picture my
Older
mom
people just don't
spilling
talk
tea.
like that. They
Mm-mm.
don't want to.
No, because
they'll
they're
do
private.
it at coffee
They're
or
private.
at a card game, but
Mhm.
they're not like. And I always ran into, like, they'd see me as the outsider, and or someone to threaten their independence, and so they don't want to talk to the workers so that they can help them, or it's just it's a hard generation, because they're
Well, they're old school.
right.
They don't put their business out there, even if they have business. They don't want everybody to know it.
Right.
So, I mean, I can see her friend being reluctant for that. But I'm gonna let you go and take some more
Yes.
calls. Thank you so much
So
for
nice
calling
talking
in.
to you. I'm so happy.
It was
Have a
nice
good
talking
one.
to you. You too.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
you too. All right, bye.
All right, the phone lines are back open. 727-755-6001. What's up, Julie Martino? Hello, you are live on air with Jay. Who am I talking to?
This is Christian again.
Christian again. What's up?
Hey, just a little food for thought. I've been hearing what y'all have been talking about, with the garage door for 2 minutes and all that. You know, and it's weird is because they said Tommaso was the one that took her home. Supposedly, Tommaso took her home. Okay, but the thing is I look at it this way: if Tommaso and Annie are supposed to be like her main caregivers since they live so close, wouldn't you think Tommaso would get out of the car, help her in the house, make sure that she settled in before he left, instead of like, you know, here you go, you're home, kick her out of the car, you know.
Yeah, but she also Ubered there, so that I think is a little odd too.
That is a little odd, but I know that there was a report somewhere saying that the floodlights on the side of the house, and I think it was in one of the ransom notes or something like that, was knocked out to where the floodlights wouldn't come on. And then I know Brian Enton had interviewed like one of the neighbors, and one of the neighbors said that at like 2 something in the morning, their dog started barking and pointing in the direction of Nancy's house. They said that their dog never does that, you know, and they were like looking out there and they didn't see anything, you know, and all that. So that made it suspicious. But getting back to, you know, where they talk about a friend drove by, you know, and we're thinking, okay, maybe the friend seen something. But I know you said something about, somebody had mentioned, I guess one of the neighbors saying that they seen a man like by their fence line or something like that at like 11 o'clock in the morning or something like that, and call the police. So how do we know that maybe when the friend drove by, it might not have been 11, it could have been a little bit before 11, that they seen this guy leaving Nancy's house and he got spooked and decided to hide behind this fence line, and then they called Annie and Tommaso, you know. And
yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I've never heard that the friends actually got in their vehicle and drove by. I was looking for the report on that. I couldn't find it. So,
well, I know I've seen the New York Times post where they were supposedly they said that this was the initial timeline that the police had initially was talking about, but then they retracted it and said no, that wasn't the right timeline. Like you were saying, that Nanos retracted it and said no, it was at this time right here. But what gets me is, okay, like what y'all are talking about, Annie and Tommaso get this call. They show up at the house. And then supposedly like 1 minute later, they call the police and all that. And then they wait, I don't know how, I've heard people talk about 4 hours later, a couple hours later, they finally call Savannah and tell Savannah. See, my thing is, if that's my elderly mother that's missing, right after I call the police, the next people I'm calling is all my siblings, like, hey, have you seen mom? Have you seen, have you heard from mom? Well, why? What's going on? Mom's missing. She's not at home. Her medicine's still here. Her phone's still here. Her hearing aids are still here. There's blood in the front. Have y'all heard from mom? Have y'all seen from mom? No. And get all the siblings involved and then call the hospitals. You don't wait a couple hours later to call somebody and let them know. I thought that was strange too, that they waited so long to call Savannah.
Yeah, you make really good points. None of it makes sense.
You're supposed to call your family right away, no matter what, before you call hospitals and all that other stuff. And then like the whole thing where they thought, oh, well, maybe she got taken out the back door. Well, what makes you think that when there was blood in the front?
Well, they said it was propped open. I think that's what made them.
Oh, the back. Yeah. Well, yeah, because there was reports of saying that the gate on the side was propped open with a flower pot, and then that and then more than one door on the back was propped open with flower pots and all that. So, but that doesn't explain the blood in the front, though. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you have good points.
Because if they went in, if Annie and Tommaso went in, more than likely they probably didn't go in through the front door, because if they did, they would have seen the blood in the front right away. So then they would have known, okay, something happened. But I think they went in through the garage. When they went in through the garage, that's when they seen the doors propped open. Probably didn't recognize the blood right away. They probably went straight to her bedroom and seen all that, and then that's when they made the call. So I don't know. This case is just getting weirder and weirder.
It really is. It really is. Thanks for calling in again, Christian.
No problem.
All right. See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, Ange Carter, what's happening? 727-755-6001. I see other people were trying to call. Go ahead and call in. Back door propped open. Gate propped open. Nancy couldn't make the trip out and around. Change of plans. Nancy fought last minute. Hello, you are live on air with Jay. Who am I talking to?
Hi, this is Carly.
Hey, Carly. How you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. What's on your mind?
Oh my goodness, so much.
What's
okay,
not on your mind?
Okay, so I'm like my ex-husband used to say I should have worked for the FBI. I'm so damn nosy, but I've been writing like all kinds of like little notes, and I just feel that this is personal. That this is like very immediate. It's an intimate, like whatever it was. It wasn't a kidnapping. It wasn't a burglary gone wrong. Because who's gonna pull an 84-year-old lady out of a home and kidnap her? Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
No, it doesn't. It certainly doesn't.
The reason being, my mom is 83, and I care for my mom. I helped my mom take care of a lot of her aunts. They were all, the oldest one was 100 years old. It's like dead weight when you're trying to help someone outside of a home when, they're that age. And they are very feisty, and like Savannah makes her sound, she's very feisty. She still has all her, her as we say, marbles. And I don't know, I just think it's very weird. I don't think that the porch guy is as pertinent to the whole thing as everybody makes it out to be, because first of all, we don't even know when this happened. There's no like timeline of when he was actually there. There's like 2 different times that he was there.
Right.
Okay. Does anyone know how or if Nanos had any kind of personal connection to the family, such as friends or acquaintances or anything?
No. The only connection we know is Senator Kelly to Savannah.
Okay.
And then Kelly went and remember he brought donuts and coffee to the Pima County Sheriff's Department and made an appearance there. So I don't know what the hell he went there for. What he said
like
to
all
them
these
guys,
players. Yes, it's just too many players. Okay, so one time, I don't know if you remember, JLR was parked out, one of many times, parked out in front of the sheriff's station. And he was waiting for Nanos to kind of like, go out there and kind of catch him to talk to him. Somebody approached and they were like kind of talking. And it was said that Nanos was at the gym early that morning, like with a group of older ladies. Whether he like works out with them or does he have some kind of like like affiliation with a group that maybe he teaches them like I don't know. I couldn't see him teaching them like
Nanos was.
Yes, it's on one of the lives where he's waiting for him up front. He's in one of his vehicles, and he's waiting for him. It was when he was like trying to like catch him. It was right after the Corvette situation where they saw him in the Corvette.
Oh, and JLR was sitting at the sheriff's department?
Yes, it was one time after the whole Corvette situation. So he was determined to find him and to catch him. So then, I don't know if he was on the phone or somebody approached the truck, and they said that, oh, well, you might have caught him earlier, but he was early this morning over at the gym with some older ladies that he has like some kind of like consistent meeting with these ladies in the morning. So to me, I was thinking maybe he teaches them like self-defense, maybe he speaks to them,
maybe
it's a
they're on
group.
some kind of like board or something.
Maybe, but then that makes me feel like, okay, did he know Nancy personally outside of something, or he knows? I just feel the whole blood situation don't mind me, I have ADHD, so I'm like all over the place. So okay, if you look at some of the footage of when you're walking up the front and you see the blood droplets, right? They make it sound like the blood droplets were when someone apparently pulled Nancy out of the home, right? If that's the case, if you're pushing someone or carrying someone, you're going to smear the blood with your shoes, with the person. Okay, I'm doing that. I'm going to be smearing the blood as I'm walking and she's dripping. You know, it sounds terrible, but I mean, it's reality. But if you look at like the weeds are like scattered on top of the blood droplets. They're not disturbed. They didn't disturb the blood. It's almost like they were dropped on top of dry blood. Mm-hmm. It's like in every little spot. So to me, I don't know. I feel like he was like, I don't want to say the distractor, or maybe it was a whole like ploy to make it seem like someone had broken in. I don't think Nancy ever made it home that night. I think that there must have been a party, a get together. Maybe Cameron might have been there at Annie's house, and maybe it was like an intervention of saying, hey, Mom, you know, you're 84 now, you know, living situations are going to change. Elderly don't take that right the good way, especially someone who's really independent. And stuff might have went wrong. Sometimes I've seen it in families where like maybe Annie and Tommaso felt overwhelmed. They felt like they were the ones doing all of the work, and Savannah was living her best life.
She was getting ready to go host the Olympics. She had just done the hometown piece. She was.
And did you notice that right after? It wasn't even right after. It was as soon as it was said that Nancy was missing. Savannah was on the plane to go over, and she already had. It was already said that she was giving up her spot for the Olympics. How does she know so soon that maybe possibly Nancy had wandered off? She was with a friend. How did she know she was totally missing? This was like really early on. This was like when she got on the plane to come to Tucson. I thought that was weird.
I don't really understand the whole time frame of that day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's weird because, like, when did they, what time did they call Savannah exactly, and where were they? Did they stick around the house for the search? Did they go home? Where were they all day?
I think that if it sounds like how I feel, that there was a lot of, if the family or somebody close to them had something to do with it, they had all night to do whatever it was that they needed to do. And I think that the 2 minutes of the garage door opening and closing was someone returning the vehicle in. It wasn't bringing her home. To me, I don't feel, because I think if it would have been how they say, like, you know, a ruckus, or like, you know, like a kidnapping or a dragging out or whatever, I feel like there would have been a hell of a lot more evidence. And then what a coincidence that Nano gets the blood evidence and sends it to his own lab, and now the FBI doesn't have that to test it. So it's like so much cover up. It just doesn't make sense.
I mean, it sure looks like there's a lot of things going on at once.
Yeah.
I don't believe it's a kidnapping. I think that it's supposed to look like one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the door was propped open, to make it look like, oh, we came in this way and done. I don't know. I think that whole thing is just staged.
I mean, if there was like how we call it, an intervention, when you actually sit down with an elderly person, because I've cared for elderly people like forever. When you have to sit down, you have to make those decisions. They can get aggressive. They can get upset. There's a lot of emotion to it. What if something like that happened and there might have been a scuffle? She scratched somebody or whatever, and then people or it went the wrong way where it would have came back to them, and they panicked. But if you look at, this is one last thing. I don't want to keep you a whole long time, but if you look at when they have their sit downs to talk to the ransom notes, The one where she talks about like the whole like the one that's from Silence of the Lambs, that is the creepiest ever like what do you call it, response.
Mm-hmm.
It's not okay. If you look at her when when Savannah's talking, and then she stops and Annie begins talking, look at Savannah's reaction to what Annie is saying. She's crying in a way that it's like she feels like it's almost like I would think Savannah would cover it up out of guilt. Like something happened, and it was like, well, it's your fault. You've never helped us. We didn't know what to do. It was an accident. Because all these ransom things, it's a mess. There's no like rhyme or rhythm to it at all.
Well, you know, something else just popped in my head as you were talking. If the kidnappers, like we were saying, the back door propped open, the blood by the front door. Okay, the only thing that wasn't used that morning was the garage door. The garage door was used to drop her off. But
early on.
Why wouldn't these kidnappers open the fucking garage door and back their vehicle in if they were going to stay there that long to fuck around? Because apparently they could have been there for hours.
Well, what about the point is to me, like, why would they not have, okay, if they have that little tiny snippet of the porch guy, what happened before that? They have to have film before that. What a coincidence. That was the only piece of evidence that they had of someone standing there, you know, fiddling with the front door. Where is the like, say the film ahead of time to show like her, what would it be called? Like her pattern of her daily routine. What did she do every day? What was different that day? Then the whole card with the DPS. DPS doesn't just go for no reason.
I agree with that.
DPS is fine. It could be financial, emotional, and physical abuse.
Mm-hmm.
It can be more than just one thing. And I just feel it's just a culmination of a lot of things. And then that whole neighborhood, it almost seems cultish. If that doesn't sound terrible, but it's almost like what everyone takes care of everyone. And you have an ex-astronaut, you have people that are really famous, and people have money, and people that have money know how to shut people up or how to keep themselves, you know, safe.
Yeah.
If you want to make it that way. And Nanos is very crooked. So what goes to tell you that he would do anything that would be anything less than crooked? I mean, it's just no after no, and I love watching your reactions, or like when you're watching, you know, JLR, you're like putting stuff up. I'm over here like jotting down notes, and they don't make sense because they're all scattered. They make sense, but they make sense to me.
Yeah, and it's crazy too. I mean, like the things that you caught of him in the parking lot, for example. That's something I didn't see. Okay,
just if you look up JLR, I'm going to try to find it, and then I'll see if I can email you the date.
Oh, that'd be great.
It's soon after. It's when he was going right in front of the Pima office, and he's sitting in his vehicle, and he's talking, you know, killing time. He's waiting to spot Nanos because he says he's going to get down and, you know, approach him. And it was right after the fighting with him in the Corvette because everybody was so upset about that part. But the person that he was talking to, I mean, it was clear as day. It was like, oh, well, you missed him. I mean, he was over at the gym, you know, at 8:00 with some, you know, elderly ladies.
Yeah, and she's been there for a long time. So,
okay, do you know if Nancy was like, you know, because a lot of people go in for like very basic, you know, exercises, aquatics.
I don't know about that. I know recently her mobility got worse. So if she did that, it would have been probably, you know, years ago. But she's lived there 50 years.
Yeah, and then in one of the last, when Savannah has the thing, the interview with Coda, the way she says, my mother was in so like she made it like she went on and on pain, and I'm thinking, I would never want to be put in that, you know, respectfully, but I would say my mom was in, you know, she was in a lot of pain, discomfort, but I mean, she emphasized that And it was like, and if you look at like and then the ransom note seemed very poetic. And if you look at who is the poet in the family, and it's like, and then did you see the letter that she left for her mom that Annie wrote? I don't know if they left it out like in the little.
I did.
Okay,
The card.
if you read, yes, if you read that, and then you kind of dissect the whole thing about now she's with Earth or whatever. Who writes like that? I mean, I don't consider myself a like, you know.
What if it was like a chat GPT?
Possibly, but I feel like it was almost like very detailedly personal. And then if you look at the way she's talking to the people, the ransom people, she's talking to her mom. She's never talking to the so-called quote unquote kidnappers. Like, please bring our mom back, please. Like, she's not pleading with them. She's just telling her mom what she feels. Like, things unsaid. You know how that whole thing is? You say things unsaid after someone passes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, Annie and Tommaso are both poets.
Yeah, and supposed artists.
But
I've listened to some of her stuff.
But if they sound poetic, could Annie be being set up? Like, why?
Possibly.
If you were poetic, why would you write a ransom note in poetry? Unless you were using verbiage you just think everybody would use.
Or if you're not thinking at all and you're just writing the way you're used to writing.
Kind of like the Ramses ransom note when their kid was still in the house.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Sometimes people think that they're untouchable, and you know, and okay.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
Does anyone know about, like, if there's a ransom and how long does it take? Because I know that once you're considered gone so long, you're considered deceased, and therefore you can claim your life insurance. So I don't know how the state of Arizona is. I live in California, but I mean, all of those things, like, who's looking into financial records? We sure as hell know that it's not nanos.
No, I'm sure the FBI is, though.
Savannah, with that Cash guy, he's got so many issues. I wouldn't trust him.
Oh my God! And that
my
hold
dog.
music, I cannot.
No, but just even his. Have you seen how he's an alcoholic? They have to break down doors.
He's got his own bourbon that we pay for that he gives away.
Exactly. I want some of that. I want a shot.
Well, a lot of people do think the latest thing was not only poetic but female, like feminine. I heard a couple people say that.
I've seen that as well. But yeah, no, I mean, I just, maybe next time I'll keep jotting down some stuff. Hopefully, you know, something comes out of this, because it's like Savannah has the means, she has the money. She's so worried. I mean, there would be nothing in the world. As soon as I walk up to the house, I would see blood. I would freak out, and I would have whoever. I would allow anyone to come in that was, you know, reputable. Find my mother. It doesn't matter the cost. I can pay it, in her sense. But it's like she's quiet. I don't know. That's what seems very weird. It's like they think this is going to go away.
Unless they are being told more about the investigation than we are. I don't know.
I hope so.
Savannah sure doesn't act like she's got a whole lot of hope.
She doesn't. She doesn't at all. And I almost feel like, and then the whole thing when the three of them walked together.
Wouldn't you be scared to death knowing that the person that did this to your mom is out there? I'd be so scared.
Unless you already know who did it. And
right.
You know.
Yep.
You're covering up. I mean, there's a lot. You see a lot of that in families where they're guilted. You know, oh well, you know. My mom comes from a family of 9. No one wanted to care for my grandmother. They wanted to shove her in a home. We took care of her, but they wanted to guilt us under the sun for doing it. Like, you know, you know, and it's sad. But when you become elderly, you're almost, if not more, vulnerable than children, because no one, if someone's not really looking after your best interest,
right,
you know, you're screwed. So, I mean, that's how I feel. I feel like she already kind of knows, and maybe they're just waiting for it just to somebody just to forget about it. Just kind of like the whole Summer Wells thing. It's just so many of the things is just kind of like it's just brushed under the rug. But I mean, I really
it's frustrating.
appreciate watching.
I appreciate you
Yeah, it is.
calling in.
Yeah, thank you so much, and stay the way you are. Don't let nobody change your ways. And
thank you. I appreciate that.
I really like watching you. Okay, you have
Thank
a wonderful afternoon.
You too. Thanks for the chat.
Okay.
Okay.
Here. Bye-bye.
Bye. What a nice caller. It's just so sweet. I want to play this really quick because some of you guys haven't heard this. This is about Nancy and her friend. Take a listen.
She has some mobility issues, and the conversation about going out to the mailbox had come up a couple of times. Well, you know, it was apparently she couldn't make it down to the curb, and now you remember everybody where that is in relationship to her front door to the mailbox. But the significant piece in that is she came through the front door. Okay? She came out of her house to the front door, and her girlfriend helped her, helped her down the steps, down the gravel to the mailbox. She gets her mail, and then she's escorted back. So we wanted to press on that a little bit. If we could get to that place during Karen's conversation. Go ahead.
So there we have her leaving the front door to go down to the mailbox with her girlfriend, and then going back and going in the front door. And then we also heard that in this article up here, somewhere in this New York Times article, it talks about the needing her friend saying she needed assistance. Look at this is Nancy right here. Look how pretty of a young lady she was. This is 1963, Nancy Long. I still think it's nuts. But someone with such severe mobility issues was living, in that big of a house. She probably didn't want to leave it. Think about it. Her and the father, they built that show together. That would be really hard. That would be a lot of memories to let go. That's a huge thing. A huge thing. I don't know. One of her friends, they talked to like 4 of her friends. But we also have to remember that she was buying cameras to watch wildlife. She wasn't scared. And I think we just had to remember that. But let's go back to this friend. So they're talking about how weird the conversation was with Okay, so listen to this part.
This is a quote.
That was a quote. And I was
Wait, hold on.
Saying
Whole thing went.
Yeah, it was kind of a strange mix of reluctance. I don't want to talk about her. But she also said that I appreciate you reaching out. And she said, I'm glad you have a heart for keeping it in the public eye.
This is a quote.
That was a quote. And I was saying, yes, I need your help. We need your help. We need you to continue to talk about her. And
can you give me more color, basically?
Yeah. And so it was, again, it kind of goes back to the theme of tonight's show is it's almost like Nancy has vanished. Not just physically vanished, but ghosted from Tucson.
And if you listen to this, they go into greater detail about there's just no awareness at all. And the friends are reluctant to talk. We talked with a caller tonight about that. Yeah, but Horsewoman, we don't know if she had someone hired help or if her daughter and son-in-law were her caregivers. Because remember the Blink 182 guy, said they were her caregivers and that they took very good care of her as her caregivers. He said that on X. Hey, Ostrich. I haven't been able to talk to chat much. What did Fin say? How come there's no CCTV video of Nancy at any malls or restaurants? I don't know. Oh, Jimmy Eats World. Sorry. Not Blink 182. Jimmy Eats World. Sorry. Yes, he knows Tommaso from the music scene. What's his name again, Hexy? Oh, look. Damien made the news. They dismissed his charge. Hey, Liz. Jimmy Eat World. Yeah, this was in the very beginning. Jim Adkins, is that his name? Is it Jim Adkins? What's his name, dude? I want to find that post. It's Blink 182 is the UFO guy, you're right. But look at this is Mark Kelly. I was telling you guys about. It says this is from the Arizona Republic. This is Friday. This is you guys, hold the phone. Hold the freaking phone. Look. Now February 6th has a more meaningful date. This is the day the second ransom came in. February 6th was the day that they found out their mother was deceased. Cease and desist. And Mark Kelly brought support and donuts to Pima County on Friday, February 6th, 2026. Zach Lund. That's who it is. What do you guys think of that? Yeah, I can't find him. How do I find him? So he was there. Yeah, I can't find him. But anyway, he did post about Tommaso. Lind? Y'all are crazy. Lind. Oh, here it is. Look at J for Justice podcast shared it. Right here. Zach Lind. He has a picture of Annie and Tommaso. And he says, imagine going through everything this family is going through and also having to contend with vile humans who post stuff like this. Unreal. Annie and Tommy are amazing people, dedicated parents who also love and care for Nancy on a daily basis. And yeah, this was posted February the 4th. So anyway, he's there bringing donuts. And I'm just looking at the body language here. Here they are walking out after having their donuts on the day that they found out Nancy was deceased. He was there with coffee and donuts. The senator, Mark Kelly. Yeah, but how is it a publicity stunt? Savannah called him right off the rip. You know who he is? Tucson girl? Awesome, Kels. That's amazing. Four baskets. But anyway, I just thought that was pretty interesting. No, this was February 6th. February 6th. I'm interested when Ashley Banfield's. Hang on. What date was that episode? The suspect. Is Lindsay here? I wonder what date she did that. Anyways, what time is it? 9:30. Do you guys want to take a couple more calls? It is strange. Hey, bacon and eggs and hash. I just wonder what date that came out. Oh, there you are. What date did the episode of Ashley naming a suspect from her sources, which was Tommaso? What date was that? Was that before the 6th or after? Who is Zach's wife? I don't know. Go Ferrero. Did you add an O? Weren't you G Ferrero before? I know it sounds batshit crazy, but they are all actors playing on a world stage and preying upon your empathy. I know, Kresha. Holly and Zach are good people. All right, we'll take some more calls. Let me open it up. Let me open her up. Hold on. All right, 727-755-6001. Give me a call. Let's chat. Hey, Italian girl. Ooh, gosh, the floodgates. Hi, you're live on air with Jay. Who am I talking to?
This is Marcy.
Hello, Miss Marcy. How are you?
What are you doing?
I'm taking calls. What are you doing?
This is Marcy.
Oh, hey, can you mute your YouTube?
How are you? All right, hold on. What are you doing?
Marcy's all giggly tonight.
So what's up, Jay?
Not much, Marcy. What's up?
What's up?
Have you been listening for a while?
A little bit.
You got any thoughts?
About Annie and Tommaso?
About any of this? About the ransom?
Yeah, I do.
About the kidnapping? About Nancy? About all of it?
Yeah, I have lots of thoughts.
Okay.
Like what?
Start with
Tell
whatever.
me.
Start with whatever bothers you the
Start.
most. What's
Ask me a question.
all right? Well, what do you think happened the morning of? Do you think that Nancy made it home?
No.
You
I
don't?
don't actually think she did.
So you think she went over to Tommaso and Annie's on Saturday night and didn't make it home?
Yeah. No, I don't think she made it home. I think there was something going on there. I don't know, like if what I think is like maybe they were asking for money or it's just something I think went awry on that night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't think she did make it home. I think something happened I don't think that was expected. I think maybe it could be like Annie got into it with her mom. You know, we don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't think it. If I do think it, I don't know. Think that it was purposely. You know what I mean?
Right, like it was like something went awry, and oh
Yeah.
my God, what are you know?
Oh my God. Because like, why would Savannah be calling the senator right away? I mean, that's the first thing she thought of. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Do we? I mean,
Another thing when.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say another thing. Like, do we? I know they said they spoke to the Uber driver, but do we really know?
Yeah. How come there's no information about that? Nothing's come out. Nothing.
Yeah. Well,
Another thing I remember when
the same in
Savannah
Idaho.
went-
Nothing. We didn't know who she was till she got pulled over. Remember?
Yeah, true. But there's another thing that Savannah had said, like when Annie called, she said, "Oh boy, you know, like it was like, oh boy, what's going on?" You know,
What's
not like she ever
wrong?
calls her, like,
Yeah.
like this is something wrong. It just struck
I
me
think
like
she
you probably
did
don't
say
even
that,
talk.
girl. I think she did say, "What's wrong?"
She did.
And it was
Yeah.
like,
She
that's
said,
not
"What's
what you would
going
say
on?"
unless it was like you only talk when something is wrong, you know?
Right. That's what I think they did. Now maybe she was like, maybe Savannah was giving, you know, her money to like take care of her mom. Like we don't know. Like where are all those bills? Did she take care of all the bills? And then like ask Savannah for money?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like when something went wrong in the house, was she the you know, were they the keepers of everything?
I mean,
You
wouldn't
know,
that
like,
be the first thing you think investigators would be looking at is all their finances to see if there was anything hokey, anything, you know, Nancy did that would have seemed, you know, out of place for her age, you know, taking out
Right.
second mortgages and things like that. Like, and we saw in the docket thing online that there was some, you know, second mortgages taken out.
Yeah, remember that? The house, remember? First thing was like that house. Like how could they afford that? That's another big,
Right.
big,
We
like,
looked up
huge-
the first
a
house
big
they
red flag.
lived in, and then they sold it,
Mhm.
and then they moved into the more expensive house. And then it's like, okay, he's working part time. And then her mom says she's not doing jewelry anymore on Facebook, and she's working on a novel. And we're all like, okay, where's the money coming from?
Right. I mean, they lived in a nice house, and you know, I'm sure that was like that's a lot of money. Was it? Did you look it up and say it was like $500 and some thousand
Yeah. Yeah.
for that property? And I look at like my house, like I know what I can make for mortgage payment. You know what I mean? It's like there's no way. How are they making that? And you know what I mean? Doesn't make sense to me. There
No.
has to be something in the finances.
Well, I would think they would
Mhm.
definitely be scouring them finances because usually with the
Mhm.
elderly, right, it's usually money. I mean, what else would someone want with an
Right.
old lady?
Right.
It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. Like there's everything that we uncover. There's always like another dead lead. You know, like well, that does they tell us something, but it doesn't go anywhere.
It just makes more questions, really.
Right. Exactly.
What do you think
And,
of
like-
the Cameron, the brother? What is your vibe from him?
A little weird. He's like offish. You know what I mean? Standoffish.
Do you think he's just disgusted with the whole situation?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is. I don't know if he had any hand in it. I don't know. It was weird that he drove that day out with her car. Remember?
Yeah.
And he came in on that time, and he drove out in Nancy's car. Remember?
Yeah. They were coming and going. Yes, I remember they pulled out
Mhm.
like one after the other. They went opposite directions.
Who has a car now? Who has Nancy's car?
I don't know. I think the last we saw, JLR said it was in the garage. But I don't know if it
Oh.
ever came back after Cameron pulled out with it because it was, God, it was just such a cluster to
Mhm.
remember the days in order, you know? But I don't know if he brought it back after that. But I do remember there was one point where I was like, okay, where's the car? Where's the car? And I hadn't
Mhm.
watched JLR in a couple days or something. It felt like. And
Right.
somebody was like, "There, no, it's in the garage." He showed it, and we went back and found it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
And
It's
that was
just
just weird. Remember they did
And
it
no
out that day. Remember
Tommaso.
he went one way and she went the other way.
Yep, and no Tommaso. And then Tommaso was on the
Tommaso?
grounds the one day, and we were like, "What's he doing?"
Oh man, he was like looking so happy. Remember he was like skipping.
Bebopping, yeah. He was bebopping
Mhm.
around that property.
Mhm. Yeah, we saw him. Remember?
Yeah,
That
and
was
it
crazy.
sucks because we don't know like these people's baselines. Like, are they just odd? You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
we don't know what they acted like before we saw them. Or
Right.
before this happened.
Dynamics. We don't know any dynamics, and I don't
None.
even get a feel like it's. I don't even know. Like I've never knew Annie. You know, I only knew that Savannah lived in Tucson. I never even know she had a sister. And I was
Right.
watching Today's Show a long time ago.
Right.
So that's weird. That's
Well, you know
weird.
where my mind went back today, which is kind of wild, right? But going back to, because I was thinking about these ransoms, right? And it's like, okay,
Mhm.
if they did hold her, like if they did take her, she died. Where was she? Like, was she buried with the earth, like immediately, or was she taken somewhere? And I was taken back to, God, I hate to bring these people back up, but Luke and his mom. Remember
Right.
his mom's attorney said that she had an interaction with Savannah and Nancy at like a grocery store or something?
Yeah.
But he
she did.
didn't elaborate. And Brian, I think it was Brian Enton, was interviewing the lawyer, but he didn't
Mhm.
elaborate. He's just like, oh, they had an interaction at a grocery store years ago with Savannah and Nancy.
Right.
And I'm like, what kind of interaction? And then I went and played that Mary's interview again, and she was like talking about the locked doors and how they were busting her locked doors down inside. And it was an odd thing, because I thought, well, if it's someone who, because like Howard Blum was saying, like he thought it was someone who was jealous of Savannah and her mother's like dynamic, or something like some kind of
Right.
jealousy. And I'm like, that lady seemed like she could have been kind of obsessed, but I don't know
She
if I
was a
can
little
get.
odd.
Yeah, I
She's
just
an
don't know
odd
if I
bird.
can get down with that theory though, that it was just someone. Like, wouldn't there be evidence of that? Don't you think someone like that would have been like on her socials, like, "Oh, Savannah, you look
Yeah.
so good today," and da-da-da, that person just doesn't seem like they'd come out of the blue. But anything's possible.
I think they kind of like, hey, they're like, okay, let's like shake down some people. Where's the news? And they know Luke. They've had interactions with him. I think it was just a case like, oh, let's shake him down, make a big scene, show. And
Right.
people think we're really doing something,
Oh, look at this. We've got it. We got breaking news. Hold on, Marcy. Dun,
All
dun,
right.
dun, dun. We've got breaking news. The FBI 30 minutes ago has determined that all the kidnapping notes are fakes.
Everyone.
Okay, so it says all 3 kidnapping related messages that have surfaced in news media reports about the disappearance of Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie's elderly mother have been deemed by federal investigators to be fake communications, an FBI official told Reuters on Tuesday. The FBI assessment of inauthenticity pertains to the 2 ransom notes in early February, days after 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie vanished, and a third, more recent message from someone claiming to know the kidnappers' identities, the official said. This is a quote. None of the ransom notes are believed to be genuine, the FBI official said, speaking on condition of anonymity to discuss details of an active investigation. A second law enforcement source familiar with the matter confirmed the FBI assessment of the ransom notes. What?
Really?
The disclosure that the FBI has discounted the veracity of the 3 notes, 2 of which were widely reported to have been communications from kidnappers, seemed to raise doubts about investigators' fundamental premise that Nancy Guthrie was abducted for ransom to begin with. A spokesperson for the Pima County Sheriff's, who is leading the overall investigation, declined to comment, citing its agreement to refer all inquiries regarding ransom notes to the FBI. We don't
This is
have
like
any
today's news?
Yeah, we don't have any updates other than this is an active investigation, the sheriff's spokesperson Angelica Carrillo said. She added that DNA samples and video evidence collected in the case, quote, remain under forensic analysis. All 3 messages in question were initially delivered to various media outlets, including celebrity news site TMZ. Savannah Guthrie has referenced the ransom demands in video messages she and her siblings posted on social media. This is just recapping. The FBI, which has taken the lead in examining the ransom notes or any other communications, has previously declined to say publicly if they were credible. Oh, investigators determined the first 2 originated from the same sender, but they didn't say how they figured that out. And the first note to TMZ demanded a sum in the millions to be paid in crypto and sent 2 deadlines, February 5th and 9th. The second note was reported by NBC News last week to have referred to Guthrie at that point of having died without making an apology or demanding payment for the return of her body. In a bid to test the authenticity, the FBI deposited a small amount of crypto in an account as instructed in the message, but the money was left untouched. Okay, there's more. It was on that basis and by other unspecified means that the FBI reached the conclusion that the 2 ransom notes that it determined to be of a common origin were nonetheless sent by a person or persons not actually connected with Guthrie's disappearance. The FBI has additionally discounted the authenticity of a 3rd note that TMZ received last week, claiming to know the identities of the abductors and to have video of the main guy, as well of Nancy on the day she died. The FBI official did not reveal how they ruled out that note as fake. That's it.
I thought there was a note on the 2nd and there was a note on the 6th or 7th. I thought those were the 2 notes.
They were the 2nd, but they just listed the demand dates were the because remember they moved it to like Monday.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness!
I thought those were 2 that Savannah said that she believed were real. Right?
Yeah, she did. 2. She did, but now it's coming out that investigators might have made a mistake by not letting her pay. So what are they doing? Are they CYA? Like what the heck's going on here?
What the fuck?
Tucson girl said maybe Kalila snitched on the note writers and knew them to be scammers.
Maybe.
Wow.
What do you think's going to happen with Kalila?
I don't know.
You think he knows a lot more?
I don't know. I'm waiting to see what they do with, like, if they seal his case where we can't even see it after he pleads out, then I'll be like, there might be more to that.
I didn't come to fucking dance. Okay.
I came to but don't you think it's also weird that he just knew Tommaso and Annie's, or was it Tommaso's? Who did he text? Tommaso or Annie?
I don't think we know.
Tommaso, right?
I don't think we know.
But don't you think that's a little weird that he would just have their number and he would think to call them?
Yeah, and the 9-second phone call too. Like, what was said? Was it just dead air? But Howard Blum said today that that's how they traced that call.
Oh, okay.
And that's how they got him from his voiceover IP.
Oh.
No, this is just Gladys. This is just an FBI source. But this is routers or router. I don't know how you say that. How do you say that? Routers?
Routers?
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty reputable source. This isn't like Coffin reading the Handusen Times. We're not reading. We're not reading the Handusen Times with Coffin. This is Reuters. I said it wrong both ways. Reuters. No, but for real. Wow.
Another thing is, I was looking at a video from the interviewing room, I think it was last night, and they were saying something like, I don't understand how doors are propped open when they were sliding glass doors. Why would they say that?
Oh, no, they showed the door. It was like a regular entrance door.
Oh, okay.
With I think it had a screen door on it or something. Ashley Banfield showed us the back of that at one point.
Oh, okay.
And wait, I have another question. How did Derek Kalila find their numbers when we couldn't find shit on Tommaso? Remember, everything was scrubbed. How did he find it?
Right. Like, how would he know that number? You know what I mean? That's just weird to me. And why would he call her? Like, how did, you'd call Savannah. Or you want to get a hold of Savannah, not them.
Well, you'd want to go where the damn money is, right?
Why would he think that they had money? You know what I'm saying? Weird.
Well, I don't think any of that's true. I don't think it was a kidnapping. I think it was supposed to look like a kidnapping, and I think that they thought that they really were pulling one over. But I don't think they're going to be able to get past the FBI.
Really?
I hope. I'm just holding on to hope for Nancy because it's horrible for this to be open ended.
Do you think we'll ever figure it out? I don't know. I hope so.
I hope that Maureen's right because we love Maureen.
You're right.
She said
We
there's
love Maureen.
75% there.
So you think that clearly just a fraudster and that's all?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I really don't. We need to go to the liquor store and then go to Nancy's.
Dad, we
Oh
take
no,
you over to
please
Nancy's?
don't. And why in that day? Remember that day? I think it's the day that they went and took pictures in the garage. I think that was the same night that we heard those coyotes.
That was that was the 6th. That was the same.
That's not normal. That was really, really, really odd.
That was the same day we heard the coyotes. That was the same day the FBI was taking pictures at freaking Annie and Tomatoes. That was the same day that they found out Nancy was deceased. What else happened on the 6th?
Did they went to the house and they take some of the phones? They bring in the Cellbrite?
Oh, that's when ICAC was there.
So a lot of stuff happened that one day.
A lot happened that one day.
That was weird. I just can't get over like the coyotes and that noise they made. You know what I mean? Really.
Yeah, and you
really
live
bad.
you live out that way, so like you don't hear that like all the time.
No, that was like bad. Like they got something to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it freaked everybody out.
I know. It was freaky. And but Annie has her car back, right? Because they took a while before they released it, right?
I believe so. I believe so.
See, there's just like still so many unanswered questions.
Oh, and then remember all the door-to-door searches after?
Right, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, those coyotes were some freaky shit. Hey, Scott H. All right, Mars. Well, I'm going to let some other people call in, but it was a pleasure speaking to you.
Pleasure speaking to you too, finally.
I know, right? Thanks for calling in.
Been wanting to call in so long to talk to Jay.
I know. I'm glad you did. All right, I'll see you in the chat.
Okay.
All
Talk
right.
to you later.
See ya.
Good talking with you. Bye.
Here, you too. Bye. Thank you for calling in, Miss Marcy Pants. 727-755-6001 is the number to call in. Let's take another call. I'm a little shooketh by this article here, guys. Exclusive news from Reuters. FBI determines Nancy Guthrie kidnapping notes to be fakes. They're saying that all of it's fake. Is Scott H. still here? The guy that I kept all the proceeds from his drawings?
Fucking fuzzy slippers and lip gloss.
Chris from the interview room said he went by the police impound lot and the blue Subaru of Nancy's is in the lot. When did he say that? But FBI, they talk all the time off the record. Where do you think these reporters get their sources from? Can I ask how they know she's deceased? I guess the lack of medication. I don't know. Like we've all talked about, the damn pacemaker. All right, we got another call. Hello, you are live on air with Jay. Who am I talking to?
I have one last thing to say.
White Lotus.
Fuck
What's up?
Fuck you, Buzzy, and fuck you, Beat Him.
Oh my goodness. We just got pranked. Holy cow, White Lotus.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
Salty says lots of FBI sources out there running wild. Julie Martino. Molly. Oh my God, I wish I had my we got pranked. It's bound to happen every now and then, you know. I'm fucking dead. Me too. I've got new sound bites, you guys, but I haven't loaded them. And they're so funny. Oh, right. I mean, with the director, right. So who here thinks that it's weird? Who thinks that it's weird that the FBI that Kash Patel is the only one that put out the videos? Sunpine, good to see you. I'm thinking this is a family Kevorkian style thing. That makes sense with this drama. Interesting. You want to hear the new sound bites? I'll play them from my phone. Because I have to send them from one computer to another. Oh gosh. Okay, so we'll play the sound bites and then I'm gonna close this out. Here's the first one. Hold on. Here.
This is B. Tim, dude. He's a virgin. This is B. Tim, dude. He's a virgin.
Okay, that's the first one. The second one, I got like 4 of them. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. There's more. Okay, here we go.
I'm covering you like a true crime case, bitch. I'm covering you like a true crime case, bitch.
I've got one more. Hold on. Tiffany Marie is great for sound bites. She is so damn funny. Hold on. Here it is.
Eat another fucking cheeseburger,
Here we go.
Bitch. Eat another fucking cheeseburger, 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 bitch.
She is so damn funny. Thank you, Snazzy, for 21 months. I appreciate that so much. Hi, Gina Diamond. Good to see you. Thank you so much. I know that one cracks me up. Wait, hold on.
I'm covering you like a true crime case, bitch. I'm covering you like a true crime case, bitch.
Batch. It reminds me of this.
No one would want to stalk that ugly bitch.
We're not mean, though. We aren't. We just like to laugh and joke around. We're really not mean. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. We like to laugh. We talk about a lot of things that are pretty depressing. So we like to cut it up every now and then. You know what I mean?
She's got her shit together.
Yeah, don't be nasty.
Don't be nasty sometimes.
Oh, man. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out and calling in, all the great callers. We should do this again soon. It was fun. I wish that they would release the fake letters, but we probably will never see them because now they're just fake. Now they're just gone. I got to go back and replay that, Gina. Thank you, Kels. Thank you for all the jewels and everything, all your support, Cooter Chats. Thank you so much, guys. We're going to dance this one out. Super Chats, all the memberships. You guys are awesome. Oh, it's the last day of the month, so hang on. Oh, I gave mine away. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. All right. You guys have a great night. Stay safe. Lock your damn doors. And until the next one, bye. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this live stream or video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my latest content. Want to take it a step further?
Bring it all in.
And join our community clickers by becoming a Patreon or a YouTube member. You'll get exclusive access to our Discord server, special channel perks, and much more. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.
Click, 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 click. It's real easy, man.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Damn, 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 damn. You wanna be with me. You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to friends, but don't wanna face the fact that I ain't got time, I ain't got time, I ain't got time for that. Staying up late, sleeping all day, dreaming about Cadillacs. Buying new shoes, hanging by the pool, sipping on Coke and Jack. Calling my phone when you feel alone, but I'll never call you back. 'Cause I ain't got time, I ain't got time, I ain't got time for that. I don't give a damn, I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Damn, 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 damn. You're mad at me for not giving you comfort. You say that I'm away so much, and now you don't feel the way you felt when we were younger. But that's okay for me, 'cause